Hey folks, how's everybody doing? Long time no see. Well, not long time, it's about 2 weeks. Sim is still loading in, so I'm just gonna swap over here in just a second. Just stand by for, hold on tight for just a little bit longer. We'll be on our way very soon. We're gonna go ahead and quit Firefox. I don't need you. Good stuff. And we'll be on our way here in just a sec. Apologies for that. Anyway, in the meantime, I can go ahead and greet everybody that's joined in. Low for Portal, welcome aboard. Rosalo, welcome, welcome. JA731 Alpha, hey, how's it going over there in JA Pan? Heyo, Sammy K97, welcome. Outer Marker, Promo Wave, lots of challenge, lots of aircraft. Nice, nice, nice. Good stuff. Andy Sim 323, welcome aboard. Lovely Lottie 69, good good night. Chalice Alpha and Bundeskeks, welcome aboard. Who else did I not mention yet? Dog Wota, welcome aboard. Sandpatch 133. Magus has it. How are you? Magus. Amy, welcome, welcome. Late night grading students again, doing some student torture, I guess. Let's see, did I skip anybody? Maybe Whale. I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this, so apologies for that. Airbus 737. Ooh, that's a controversial name right there. Welcome aboard. Sammy K97. If Toto supports M1 Max, will you be supporting it also? Did I skip anybody else? Yeah, lots of welcomes. Twist update, third engine. Not quite. I mean, if you want to put the APU to use that way, I guess you can actually derive a little bit of thrust out of there. Not very much, but on a real thing, if you put a proper exhaust on it, would. Already a Toto convert. Since the release, I have not flown any other aircraft. Oh my, Jonesy crew. I mean, thank you for the trust, but I do not limit yourself. Jur Barrett, Luke 1549, welcome aboard. Gary Kokuhe. I'm not entirely. Harry Kuhei. I'm sorry. Yeah, I apologize. Yeah, welcome. Sorry, I'm horrible with names. Lots of squid emojis. New Charlie time. Pilsner indeed. And Match the Duck. Welcome aboard. Thanks for the follow. Okie doke. Let's go ahead and swap over to the sim finally. Here we go. I forgot to set my UI scale up a little bit. So for the time being, you're going to have to sort of bear with me and jump into the menu right now. You're allowed to butcher my name. Oh, thank you. You're very gracious. Cool. Anyway, so let's hop into here. And so what do we got here? And there's been a couple of changes. I apologize for the tiny text here. I forgot again to reset my UI scale up a little bit. But you see here, we got a new set of options down here. So the airplane now understands its own manufacturer serial number and its cell call. Now, cell call isn't currently implemented to interface with VATSIM, but this is sort of the first step that we need to do to get all of that going. Let's see. I'm gonna uncheck restore position, and I'm gonna show you the other stuff. Yeah, sure. I haven't loaded in this particular airframe in a while, but it should work. Yeah, it's notifying me about the previous version. Let's go ahead and cancel that. I'm actually gonna go up here, increase my UI size, turn on FXAA. Good stuff. I'm pretty quiet, you say. Okay, let me adjust my volumes a little bit. I see what you mean. Stand by there for just a sec. I'm gonna try and resolve that. Pretty quiet. Okay, let's go ahead and go on. Right, stand by. And the AVU control. Input. And we're going to overdrive the mic here a little bit. How's this? Oh, there we go. Much louder, I can already see. Okay, do let me know if this works a little bit better. Cool. Actually, it's a bit too hot, I think. It's peaking a little bit in the red. If I talk a little bit louder, it's fine. Okay, well in that case, if you folks are happy, then I am happy. Anyway, I don't need my frame rate displayed. That's kind of pointless at this point. Sweet. I'm actually gonna drop down text resolution. I don't need it all the way to max. Like an EU, don't speak loud. Okay, cool. When will the coffee machine be installed in the FBO? Soon, hopefully. There's a lot of things. I'm just gonna jump out of here, and I haven't turned on even sim sound. See, this is what kind of a professional I am. I didn't turn that on either. Ooh, and somebody forgot to turn off the APU. Anyway, so let's jump on in here. Yeah, sure, whatever. Just gonna be super nasty here. Get the airplane close enough. Bye-bye. Okie doke. Let's see. Audio in the sim. It's somewhat quiet, but I guess it'll work. Yeah. Ouch, that shutdown. That's pretty brutal. I know. Anyway, so we've got all the external placards now in the airplane. So that's going to be coming your way very soon. There's a ton of little things all over the place. So, you know, you've got your doors, the AOA vane calibration card, and Rob Christie, thanks for the follow. All the previously unlabeled little surfaces are now labeled, so you'll know that this is oxygen without even looking inside of it. Got the little lock indicators here. So there is now this little text in there as well for the nose gear door switch. Just received an email from X Aviation. Sweet. I mean, you can try and go ahead and play around with it, but you can stay here. I'm going to show you the sort of all the little things, all the not pretty things that are there. Other calibration placard. There is a lot of text around here. So there is, well, it's probably going to be better this way. So the pressure refueling port. Another notice here about the pressure refueling system. And this is manufacturer installed, if I remember right, this placard. This is added to the aircraft after. We should have put this lock over down to unlock. Whatever. So yeah, this is added by operators who do not want refuelers to play around with the exterior refuel defuel panel. They're not part of the delivery. Correct. Yeah, they're not outer marker. They are part of a. I mean, you could probably make them part of the delivery, but they should work on any aircraft because these are installed by the manufacturer. I'm sorry. Yeah, by the manufacturer. These are mandated. They're part of the AMM equipment list. So getting the placards in the correct place is something that is necessary on the airplane prior to it being shipped out to a customer. You got all the locking indicators all over the place. 28 volt DC. Okie doke, what else we got here? Oh, right, big old chart here on the main landing gear, right there. That tells you all about how to measure the deflection on the shiny portion here. Essentially, they call this the X dimension X, and you're supposed to, if you had basically a pressurization rig or hydraulic rig rigged up in here, it would give you a pressure to deflection chart where normally my ADS does fail. I'll see myself out. Yeah. So yeah, you got a calibration chart for what the pressure should be inside of the shock absorber. So those are all in. There should be a corresponding one also on the nose landing gear. APU and bleed air and cabin pressurization on here. Yeah, we gotta rotate the locks over. I forgot to do that. The baggage door is still not functional. Sorry about that, but that's gonna be coming soon. And that's, I think, more or less it for the external placards. There is a placard in here. Or no, hang on, it's down here. I apologize. Yeah, there we go. So there's placards for literally unflyable. There are placards all over the place. I think there's some more stuff up on the V-stab. I forgot exactly. Oh yeah, there it is. A little bit hard to see from down here. But there we go. That's the most important part of them, obviously. So when you apply your coats of paint on the paint job, be sure not to exceed AMM limits on the thickness. What about the oil access door at the back of the plane? That's going to be coming in a future update. This is a lot of work that's going to have to go on in there. So yeah, we've done some repainting. So these, I filed this up. There's some Z fighting still left over. Already asked the placards show up on the high performance install. Yes, they will. Vinny, the placards are the same resolution everywhere. There's also some placards over on the wing refuel defuel ports right there. So right there. This is the so not the wing refuel defuel. That's the over wing refuel. Just basically gravity refuel. Good stuff. So those are the placards and external markings. So now it pretty much has a guide for how to operate the door. Push and turn handle to open the door. Sweet. Okay, let's jump on in there. What else did we add? Is the color of the placards dynamic, meaning they'll be... No, they're not. B. Casper. The sound of forbidden popcorn. No, they're not. They're always dark, as far as I know. So I think I need to check if they'll work on other... Sounds exactly like the CRJ door. Yeah, I mean, they are essentially the same door. Except the CRJ door is probably a lot more used. It's a lot more well-loved. Let's put it like that. Okie doke. So, next thing that you'll notice down here is this guy. So we do have now a cockpit placard for your registration and markings and everything. So let's bring up my airframe manager. So you'll notice it says on here, you know, cell call, manufacturer serial number. It does let you select. It's from, let's see, 2000, or which one is the lowest one? 1001 is the lowest manufacturer. And let's see, what is the highest one? I think 999 is the highest one we basically let you set. And it's randomly generated on the creation of the airframe. So manufacturer serial number. Cell call, which is actually correctly, it's correctly checked for consistency. So CL. G. Oh, N is probably not a valid letter. There we go. So like that. Let's see what else. We have a cell call generator here if you want as well. Now, you might think that, okay, you know, that's all really cute. But you know, what if this doesn't match your layout, the way your operator has these placards, you know? Well, all good, no worries. We got you covered. So go to Edit Appearance, Cockpit Registration Placard, and you've got a whole truckload of options in here. So you can select your style, whether you want it to be a 3D placard. You can see it's raised on a little plastic bit on there. You can make it a flat sticker that's on directly on there, or just make it invisible if you want to do something different. Oh dear. Yeah. So that's that. That's for that part. Now, text color you can change if you want it, let's say black, or if you want it green, or for whatever reason. Now, sure, all that's good, well and good, but you'd never print text directly onto the panel. You'd have like stickers on there. So what you can do is you can create stickers for everything. Okay, cool. You can also change the 3D placards background here to be something specific. That's like a print on top of it. It is actually texturable. The 3D object on here is texturable if you really, really want to, but this sort of a darkish appearance is pretty much what works, and you can just sort of play around with setting in whatever you want. Will it flush sound? Yeah. Cool. So next thing you'll notice on here, there's a bunch of lines. What's that for? Well, you can select whatever text you want on there. So you'll see on here it says cell call, $ cell call, and then MSN, $MSN. Now, if I don't want to have this say that, I can just change it to whatever. Hello world. Oh, there's a limited amount of space on there. You can even change the font size. And obviously, you can position them differently. Customization word. Yep. And so I forgot where did I have it in default? I forgot. Yeah, something like that anyway. X should be like, I don't know, 0, and this guy, whatever. So how good is the simulation? Stickers, you can tweak them. Okay, so let's make this just my standard machine or manufacturer serial number. What we can do, for example, is if we had a lot of operators have more than that amount of text on there, so they'll have something like phone number. So sat phone or sat number, I don't know, 1555, whatever. And I'll make it a slightly smaller font, and I'm going to shift you down. 10 lines. Yes, you can have up to 10 lines of text on here. In case you want to get really creative, so let's say I'll make it like 20, and we'll put it right down there. There we go. And you're going to have that on your placard forever. And it's associated with just that. Put the checklist on there. For the checklist, I think it's a little bit too constrained, but yeah. Does it reset? Does it have a reset button in case you want to change it back? I don't think it does, no. This is associated, so it's not like a livery. This is always associated with this airframe. So even if you change the airframe's livery, this is going to stay the same. There is actually a way to. Why did I not put the text on here? I think that we can actually have you change the font. I need to look it up. Probably need to put that into some documentation or something. Is this a plugin? No, well, I mean, it's part of the airplane, so is it a plugin? I guess technically yes. Everything's a plugin in X-Plane, but yeah. But yeah, you can go kind of wild. Add the secure and checklist after the APU gen off. I guess you could. Yeah. I guess you could. So that's the registration placard on there. Done. That's what I call a creative use of space. Yeah. And also, and again, you don't want to have it sitting on a floating placard. You can make it appear as if it was a sticker or a set of stickers that are on there. Let's say, now you'd probably make the font in that case black. Or I don't know, like that. Probably wouldn't go that sticker crazy on a real airplane, but you get the options. So make it white, and we're gonna go for the 3D placard look I like. What I miss? Only a lot. So yeah, you can go pretty crazy with the amount of customization you can get on there. We had an engraved placard. I mean, sure, yeah, but I can't dynamically draw normal maps on here, Captain Crash. What's good, Toto? I've been flying and enjoying this bird a lot on stream. Cool. Good stuff, HD Sim. Fuselage stickers and a customizable placard in a cockpit. I mean, that's what liveries are for, I guess, if you want to go that crazy. Fuselage stickers. Okay, let's fire this thing back up. Now, what you'll notice is a lot of the graphics on the overhead have been redone for the lenses here, for all the little lighty lights. Good, those are out. People cannot watch the VOD and live stream at the same time. So the scratches have been there before, but we have added the we've changed the color of the annunciators here, or rather well, not these guys, but a lot of the lights have been redone, so basically the illumination looks a little bit different. So let's go to sort of a darker time of day. Well, in fact, we're going to make it super dark. So you'll notice that all the lights here are no longer they're no longer basically just plain white. They're sort of slightly, ever so slightly yellowish. The colors on here have been given a sort of a fade out to the edge. Basically just went for a slightly more realistic color toning on the look there. If we go down, and I'm gonna pull up the... Oh, right, I gotta do this guy here, since we're on battery power. So that's the way these now look. They should be a lot closer to the real thing. Okay, so that's those out of the way. What you'll notice, HD, is there an update to the CL650? Yes, there is now. It's like Christmas tree, yeah. What you'll notice if I make it completely dark is now all the screens have a backlight bleed. So, and you'll notice that the light is coming out of the edges of the screen primarily. Sweaty fingers. I mean, you look with your eyes and not your fingers. Even the opposite of spoiler 2. Not Molly on it. Hey, Heli Pilot, thanks for the raid. So you can get kind of crazy with the backlight. Let's say if I blow it up real hard, you can see that there's like 3 bands of light on the CDUs. I noticed on the Collins units. So you've got the backlight bleed out of the top and bottom and the middle there a little bit. And on here, the backlight bleed is primarily on the edges. There's a little bit on the top as well. So let's go ahead and turn over the APU. Come on, baby. And the backlight bleed carries over into the pop-out versions. You can actually turn it off if you don't like it. For some reason, X-Plane does sometimes create some banding on very soft gradients of basically like screen renders. So in that case, if you don't like it, you can go ahead and disable it either here in the pop-out versions or on the 3D versions, or both. Versus displays from Samsung. Beautiful LCD screens, they make the difference. Yeah. Okie doke. So APU is available. And so as soon as I flip the switch on here, I still have the floodlights on. So this is the way it looks, fully darkened out with the screens on. Let's go ahead and stow the HUD. And we obviously can play around with the screen brightness and stuff. So if you go and make the screen super bright, they're going to look mega washed out at night. It's basically like blinding you. Or you can turn them down a little bit. During the daytime, the backlight bleed actually is a lot more subdued, so it looks a little bit more realistic and stuff. Exclude from the pop-outs like pixel effects. I'm not sure what you mean. Super AMOLED Challenger 6500. OLED burn-in. So yeah, that is there. Also, this guy has a new animation for startup just because I could. So if I go ahead and kill the APU again. So it goes through like a little backlight test there for full bright for a moment. I'll test it eventually. So yeah, go ahead and cancel all those enunciations there. Okie doke, so that is that. Let's see, new features. There's not too many new features. We've kind of mostly gone through them already. It looks like, you know, there's not too much there, but, you know, all these things take forever to implement, so don't be too disappointed, I guess. It's not like a whole nother airplane. That'd be interesting if we could do that in 2 weeks. Let's see. There's about 1 billion different changelog items, primarily having to do with bug fixes. Let's see, what else did I put in the changelog that is noteworthy, I guess. Right on here, you can now specify wind components directly. So instead of giving like a direction and speed for average wind, you can put in like a tail 25 or plus 25 knots. That also works. And it reads back the correct definition and uses the correct definition for flight plan stuff. Do I need a permit for a link? No, you don't, Tim. I don't think I do those. Talking on external monitors. Pop-outs aren't pop-ups. So, yeah. I mean, does this update work with airframes from version 1 to... Yes. So Nevada rocks, right? Good question, or a good point that you brought up there. It does work with existing airframes. Only thing you have to do, you have to understand, it might not recover FMC state or engine state correctly in flight. So when you load 1.3, make sure you're loading in airframes that are on the ground, preferably shut down, but just not in flight, you know, because you might start up with engines shut down or that kind of stuff. So be sure to load a flight after it's been parked. Generally, that'll be the state anyway. You know, if you don't, but just don't do like you want to resume a flight in progress from version 1.3. That might not, you know, end up quite too well. You might have to like restart, you know, avionics and restart the engines and that kind of stuff. That'd be a bit of a pants down moment. Streamed a long haul yesterday in the Challenger from Boston to London City and landed in Augusta 23. Ah, spicy. Reversers on single axis is new. Yes. Yeah, that works now as well. So let me bring the daylights back in. Good stuff. So do I have this? Let me bind that up. So this is the way that a lot of the TCA throttles work, right? And plan a steep approach capability. After this one probably is when we'll be adding steep approach. So if we go in here and make this linear, and we'll give it beta and reverse. So this is more or less how you have stuff set up for, and we don't need alpha range. Good stuff. So this is pretty much how the TCA throttles work. So I'll take these out of idle like this. And now if I pull back a little bit past, it will now correctly, well, I don't have engines running, but like that. So it's all now on a single axis, functional, hopefully. Are the sun visors in the cockpit stowable yet? Not yet, no. Oh, one thing that has been changed, this is more sort of a fix than a... Now the sunshades here are stowing upwards, not downwards, except for the emergency exit window, which goes down, and the rest of them go up. So that is also changed. Let's have a look in here. So there are not too many changes back here. Basically the sunshades primarily. Let's see, what else? Any kind of improvements? Oh, right, improvements that you have been asking for that are now in there. The airplane now correctly accounts for time passage between flights. When the engines are shut down, you know, you've parked the airplane, it will correctly affect the engine cooling periods. Question on visuals. Would there be a way to add some effect to the windshield too, you know, kind of an oily look? Mattia, we try to deliberately avoid the oily look, but there is a slight, you are looking for any VR features, changes, not too many. I've changed where when you're requesting battery discharge, not yet, Mattia. I'm sorry, Bobble. Hawker Driver, I've added in where the fueler, when he comes to talk to you, or when you get any of those pop-ups, they should follow you into VR, and when you take your headset off, they'll follow you into 2D screen in case you can't see them in VR. So that should at least help there. In terms of getting the open galley bins and seeing food and treats in there. JA, that's going to be a lot of 3D work. It's going to be coming, but it's not just ready yet. You know, this is just, we're barely a month from release. So yeah, Match, it's your question about kind of an oily look. The airplane already kind of does that. Let me find a lighting situation where you can sort of see it. A bit hard to see. We've deliberately made it very, very faint because I didn't want it to be annoying. Let's see. There is, there we go. Yeah, there we go. You can just about see it here. So if I go like this, you see there is some sheen that goes over the windshield, but I try to make it very, very subtle because it can get extremely annoying. And we didn't want to make this be like a super, you know, I'm not a big fan of putting tunables into everything because my opinion is you do it once and you do it right. So most things we try to make it look correct on a first try and just keep it the same for everybody. So there's no settings for people that like misset and stuff. The plan add XPLM command for the internal refuel panel pop-up. I couldn't find any in version 1.23. It's there, Tim Rodeo. They should all work. There are commands for essentially every button. Everything you can touch in the airplane is using standard commands and stuff. Hit me up on Discord after the stream and I'll produce a list for you. One thing you'll notice, for example, that we've changed that wasn't quite right previously is previously the screens would go all the way to the edge of the bezel. That was not right. There is actually a border around the things, so now the screens are slightly inset by a few millimeters from the edge, and you can see exactly where the screen backlight works. So backlight is up here and not here. Devils in the details. Worker Bombardier and Challengers have a brown tint to the windshield. Silly sinner, I guess. Yes, but the problem is the way your eyes perceive brown tint. It's not easily reproduced in sim, so they wouldn't look horrible. Computers have a very limited range of colors that you can put on the screen, so we went for as pale a look. Now there is a slight darkening effect. If I go through, poke my head through the windshield, there's a slight darkening effect, but we try to keep it color neutral so that we don't mess up people's appearance of their scenery out there too much. Their weather radar, or is that in the future? It's coming in the future. And besides, XP has a brown tint anyway. I suppose so. Moscow, it's not done yet. Probably going to be coming in the next update. I'm going to be basically, for update 1.4, 1 month after release, we'll be doing larger cuts, I guess. Larger feature additions. Something in the hardware for so I don't forget, plus any other pop-ups you can't find. Yeah. Let's see, there are a lot of little changes. For example, now there should no longer be an ability to press down on these buttons by accident. Oh no, you can still do that. Well, they're wider now, I guess, so you can't accidentally click onto them just from the front. It's just about barely maybe possible, but they're a lot bigger now. The covers that are covering the click spots for the main stuff make it even bigger. It actually would need to sort of wrap around the edges there. Gotta around. Well, have a good one, JA732A. Back to the drawing board. Did you consider maybe implement an entertainment panel with lighting, PA, galley, and the iPad like the Bombardier app? Nevada rocks. It's on my to-do list. I have the code, so the galley control panel here is actually running the same software as you would have for your iPad. And I do have all the screens that go. This is actually a sub menu called Cabin in the software, and there is another top level menu called Cockpit where you could like control. I've got the graphics for them all cut out and ready to go. I just need to author them in. Does LRC work correctly now? No, marker. I didn't get to work on that yet. You can't do it. Look. Great list of updates. Yeah, I'm sort of skimming over a ton of stuff. There's over probably 80 bug fixes. Not quite 80, probably 60 bug fixes. Another 30 improvements and various changes. Yeah, we've sort of kept up to speed. Ghost of Pikachu, there are no uptime commands here. It's just, I'm going to tell you, I guess, how long we've been online. Only for about, 30 minutes or so. You're a developer for the CL650. Yeah. Yes, I am. LRC issues are known. Yes, Timberody, I'm aware of that. Oh, thank you, Beastlayer. I missed the news. Ghost of Pikachu, no worries. It's all covered in the change log, so memory fix for those people. Memory, yeah, that's also fixed, yes. Really questions. I notice ice doesn't get shown on the tail. That being purpose. Yes, Matt, yeah. It isn't shown because X-Plane doesn't actually apply it to the airplane. X-Plane natively only understands ice on the main wings in X-Plane 11 anyway. So I didn't bother putting in an ice effect here because it would not have an effect on the airplane at all. I didn't want to make it basically just fake an appearance on there. Not a suggestion. Airplanes add wear and tear to the airframe. Yes, eventually, yeah. Besides oil changes, maybe exterior appearance. Well, exterior appearance, probably no. That's a little bit hard to do because in X-Plane you can't quite easily draw on the fuselage dynamically. It's a bit tricky. Any progress on CPDLC? CPDLC is going to be coming soon. You just crossed the pond on Saturday. Damn you, Austin. CPDLC is going to be coming soon. I have, code for it already, but it's not integrated yet. If it changes thrust limit, he goes into the perf page on his FMS and then back out the page it was. Would it mess up if people were interacting with the FMS? It would probably be Casper. It's a little bit tricky. It's possible to mess it up, so we just change it invisibly for you. It'll be a little bit fragile. That's a bit too bright. Cross the land. VOR to VOR, por favor. Yeah. On a public roadmap, I'll be putting that evidence note together probably tomorrow, since I'm finally sort of out of the initial rush of craziness. Cool. So that's, let's see, what else we got on here? Oh, right. Various little improvements. So, for instance, we have had the issue where, it's kind of more of a strip of my own making, I guess. But let's make it like this. Previously, when you had the airplane cast in a shadow and you were inside, you would be missing like bits of the airplane. That's because we had aggressive culling of the exterior model if you didn't see it. And that was unfortunately then causing shadow casting issues. So we didn't, actually the airplane didn't cast the correct shadow. So that's been fixed, as you can see. And it's not fixed in a way where we just keep on displaying the exterior model all the time. You can see the engines there, and a vertical stabilizer, horizontal stabilizer, the outer fuselage, everything. And the way it's done, or pull and reload. Well, I'm going to show what's currently in the release, so that's what we're going to do. Oh yeah, we got some messages down here. I don't think this was in there before. Anyway, so the way we don't do it simply by keeping the exterior model constantly loaded at high detail, because that'd be super, that would be kind of wasting resources. Did implement call the cleaning crew to clean the cabin minigame. So instead what we do is we have replacement objects, or low poly. If I poke my head through here, you can see that there's like a low poly version of the engine with stuff removed. It's also on the tail there. So when I'm sort of, you know, if I just poke my head in through the glass here, I can sort of see them being replaced. So that's how that works. Added a cell phone label suggestion. Nice. Yep. I like to expedite catering. So yeah, we do it by replacing them with, they look reasonably high, and as soon as you get basically in here, for example, it knows the object kill system is perfectly aware of your head position and direction. Say for instance, if I'm sitting in here and I'm looking at the engine, I do actually get high detail engine because it knows that the engine is visible from the cabin here. Well, kind of, I have to like sit in the correct seat. There we go. So it does load into high detail engine where you're inside of the cabin and stuff. By contrast, if I was further forward, let me just sort of float my head through there, through the space here. Just cover your eyes, avert your eyes if you're, you know, don't want to be triggered by me poking my head through the fuselage. So there you go. And if I go and slowly move through there, you'll see that there's like a partition section here where it loads in the high detail engine model, regardless of where I am, because I could be like looking through the windows and stuff. So it is aware of that. And wing or vertical stabilizer only gets loaded when you're actually outside of the model, because otherwise it's invisible. Do passengers knock on the door if closed? No, they don't. Cool. So that is the that's perfect combined reverse. I've already talked about that. Airspeed trend vector should only be displayed in the air. That is all there. Anti-skid test should extinguish after 6 seconds, which it does. So go here and hold the anti-skid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it should disappear. There we go. I catch right after earlier, only on the wing. Yes. And Bundes kicks. It's because X-Plane doesn't really care about simulating, or the effect of icing isn't anywhere else. So that is there. External hoses and cables need to be hidden in replay. Okay, yeah, that's already there. A redesigned knob acceleration. Right, there's a redesigned knob acceleration model. Now, if you thought that the knobs didn't have acceleration, they actually did. But it was just, you know, I didn't like the algorithm as was, so now it's actually a little bit faster. So if I, you know, go slow, it starts accelerating a lot faster. And if you slow down, obviously it slows down there as well. Phil did say the new Cirrus had anti-ice system affecting the tail, so yes, XP12 will have the ability to do that. So there's a redesigned acceleration model there. Speed selection is still fairly... It does have acceleration, but not very much, because it was deemed basically not to need quite as much. People will be populating the FBO at some point. Real sim pilot, maybe. It depends on whether we get a good material model in X-Plane, because people in X-Plane or anything that's, you know, human and soft and alive doesn't look quite right. Everybody just looks like they're creeping out. Click and drag on the spin to spin. Eventually, probably yes, Flanisher. Jenny wasn't very attractive. Yeah. What about the light on the door? Not sure which light you mean. You mean the stereo lights? Those are going to be coming later. Those are not there yet. When I was flying away from the sun, the cockpit was lit through the plane, so to speak. Bundeskeks, that's an X-Plane thing. I can't change that. You can see that actually over here. X-Plane basically just disables shadows. When the sun gets very, very low, it just disables shadow propagation completely. I think there's like add-ons that let you change it, but look, watch this. If I see as I move the shadow out there, as it starts projecting onto the building, it just disappears. There's like a level at which X-Plane just turns off shadows. And there's nothing I can do about that. That's just X-Plane's core rendering engine. And a hard worker. Oh, the click and drag function. Cabin light on the overhead work. No, that isn't in there yet. No, that didn't get implemented yet. Yes, like the courtesy light. Never fails to answer the phone. Yeah, she never does. So let's see. Increase knob acceleration. Engine bleed thrust limit. Just must allow manual selection. So yeah, that's on here. You can actually go ahead and manually toggle bleed configs. Yeah, flaps travel wasn't fast enough. As if anybody noticed. But yes, flaps took 3 seconds too long to extend. It was 21 seconds and should have been 18. So now they take 18 seconds to go from nothing to full 45 degrees. This one is the one we want. So. So yeah, they're a little bit quicker, I guess. Not that you really notice, but... Chinese number. 8675309. I have no idea what that number is, but yeah, sure, I guess. I mean, you can put it on the placard here if you want. Is the extinguisher in the cockpit full now? I don't know, Gordon. Did you refill the extinguisher? Oh, no, it isn't. You mean changed? Is that... It already is that number. Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean that. Or what? Not sure what you mean. It'll be full. Let's see. Flaps travel. Yeah, engine ITTs are not taken into account. Passenger time. Also, well, let's see what else was there. There was something else. Fuel tank temperatures, right? Yeah, fuel tank temperatures now account for passenger time as well. So these are going to change depending on, you know, whatever the ambient conditions were. Blah blah blah. There's some tiny little improvements. Load X-Plane main menu. Right, yeah, that's a bit of a silly one, but this was requested by one of our testers. Let's go ahead and walk over to the FBO. Collecting dust for a while. I'm gonna walk a little bit faster. You go like on an angle. Anyway, now you can actually, you know, exit X-Plane by exiting the door. Most useful feature, I know. You were absolutely looking forward to that. There's like little quality of life improvements. So say for instance on a landing, your first officer is now going to turn off the landing lights for you. So they're going to do that. Let's see. Oh right, I added support for non-ICAO airports on charts. They weren't being picked up, so that works now. Let's see, if I go from C56 was one of the ones. And hopefully we have charts for it. There we go. Not that there are too many charts available for that airport. Does it even have a departure of any kind? No, it does not. But, well, there you go. Walking to the door and quitting X-Plane, so we'll heavily use that feature. That's awesome. I was hoping for it to be possible one day. So yeah, we have non-ICAO airport support and charts. There was a problem in silly feature that everyone loves. There was a problem wherein we would not load a SimBrief flight plan if it had custom lat long points. And let's see. All right, kind of a silly thing. Is there a way to track engine hours on this airplane? Not at this time currently. Let's see. It's kind of a detail more for render and more for my needs. I'm kind of weirdo about that. I like my renderings to be close as possible to real things. So you'll notice on here. Where are you? There you are. So you'll notice that now the course pointer on the HUD actually carves out a section of the render here. It does that on real thing as well. Be able to uninstall supplemental ground wing anti-ice. B Casper, I think this now comes as standard equipment on Challenger 650s. So, I mean, you can literally not use it, I guess. And if you really don't want it to do anything, just push the off button and there you go. Super fancy espresso machine could be rating the coffee you mentioned a few streams ago. Oh. Good idea. Eventually, I guess. There's some stuff with GPS almanac caching, support for sim fetching. Oh, right, yeah, SimBrief. You can actually now fetch via the reg mark on your airplane instead of just VIN number. It's kind of an oversight on my part. So if I go in here, I can actually pick up November 650 Charlie Lima, which is my SimBrief number. There's a SimBrief ID on the airplane. And hopefully, there we go, flight plan loaded. There we go. And this also contains lat long points, which were causing issues a couple of days ago when SimBrief added those. So that kind of broke the loading of these. So now it's all good. Wondering why it wasn't working before. Yeah, they changed some formatting here, which I didn't expect, and that broke my parser. But now it's all good. Let's see. Sec flight plan rendering is right down here. We got to go to format to switch to plan mode. You do have a secondary flight plan. Let's see, MFD Advanced. It should actually show in blue instead of white. So that's there. Over the ocean, not much else other than blue color. There we go. There's Ireland and arrival. We're not going to fly over the ocean though. And we receive PDC on FMC yet? No, that's going to be coming as part of the CBDLC rework. Hey, JetJazz Junkie, welcome aboard. Oh yeah, that was some stuff where somebody wanted a readable value for the hard landing indicator. So yeah, you can pick that up now. You can read this via data ref if you want to. Yes, unlock pop-ups. Stay. Yeah, that's a lot of, like, there's a ton. I've sort of whisked through the changes and the improvements. I didn't mention all the bug fixes, which is a list about 3 times as long as what I've been talking about so far. Probably 4 times as long. So yeah, let's go flying. Where should we fly to? Take that off there, take that off there. We could fly to San Francisco. How about that? Pilot Edge. Yes, I am on. Well, I do have Pilot Edge installed, so we can go to Pilot Edge. Any changes in the flight model that we should know off? No, the flight model is the same. Okie doke. So you can see the color of the overhead buttons here is a little bit different. There was changes with the buttons here as well. Low E. I mean, from where I'm currently, probably not going to fly to low E. That'll be kind of, I'm on Western US. Oh, Hawker Driver, great stuff. SFO, nice. Sit back and enjoy. Yeah, let's do a quick plan from, let's see, is it actually going to be a sensible flight? I got to check quickly here on the old sim briefing. Sim brieferino. You might want to go a little further than that, but we'll see. Where are we? We're in Medford, KMFR. It would be Reno to SFO. If I go new flight, MFR to SFO, how long of a trip is that? 300 miles. Perfection. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's check for some routing suggestions. Which one would be a realistic one? Real world, Jackson 7, OED. There's seriously like a 200-mile long direct. Let's see what sort of landings they do in. I'm just gonna go ahead and connect up to Pilot Edge. Did I actually connect? Oh, yes I did. Good stuff. So let's go ahead and pick up the ATIS over at Pilot Edge. UK to SFO. Gonna read for a nice 9-hour stream. Yeah, that'll be fairly. Also, probably outside of the range of the aircraft. If we ever do something with really long range, that'll be actually quite doable, but not on Challenger, I'm afraid. Supersonic. Okay, so we'll go ATIS, and we'll request if there is an ATIS at San Fran, which I know there is. Okie doke. Probably no wind, so they're landing 282 right, 28 right, 28 left and right. Blah blah blah. Arriving runway 28 right and left, departing 1 left, right. Visual approaches, VFR, contact clearance. Okay, so the weather. All right, I gotta go all the way to the back and then all the way back forward. Visibility is 10 miles or better. Recreate for the win. Got a hot start Concorde, Funkin' Dream. An ultra long haul range jet. Maybe they'll make us Challenger 950. Global 6500 range by CL650 size. Probably kind of hard to be sure. Hey, Racing Mars. Hard to be sure if they do that for a Challenger. Seen the gauges in that. I'm not young anymore. Not that young anymore. Okie doke. Let's just do it a position of flight so we won't have to do a crazy amount of going back to the FBO. I'm just gonna call Jenny to get the fuel truck over.
Hot start flight support. Jenny speaking. How can we help?
I'm gonna request some fuel.
Of course. I'll have that over with you in a minute or two. Anything else?
That'll be all.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
Now we're at fuel tank. That made it look like a mini beluga. Yeah, maybe, but the thing is already pretty marginal on the weight. So I'm not entirely sure that will work out too good. Okay, yeah, this will work. Gulfstream so impressed with the CL650. He hired to make a G800 or a Honda jet. Sure. Racing Mars, I've got out of flight sim for a couple of years, but when I saw the CL650 released, I put together my new flight sim computer because I just had to dive in. Cool. Glad you like it. Good old code cable physics for that thing. Probably would, yeah. Probably would. Cool. Let's do the flight prep or cockpit flight compartment checklist. Flight compartment checklist. AC and DC electrics. We got the AC on. DCs are also good and powered. Nav lights, logo light. On. Cockpit lights. Are set. Lamp test. Yes. Numero uno. Newer Dua. These are all on. And all good. Duct monitor. Duct monitor test right there.
Bleed air duct.
Loop A and loop B. FMS database status. Hello there, Mr. Fueler. Status. How are we looking? We'll cycle you through to clear out the box completely. You can find the options for the display lighting. It's and user settings. Up in here. We want the backlighting and stuff. 2 of us. Yep. Ducts must be mentioned. Must be monitored. Yeah. And we don't have a caution about the out-of-date air rack, so that's good. FMS flight plan uplink, ATIS. Right, flight plan uplink. We're gonna go ahead and go to route menu, flight plan recall. Did I send this over? I didn't. Get generate flight plan. Whack. And I'm gonna go send the request in. I notice sometimes when it set a takeoff time too far away, I can call the packs, but does that would eventually be a trigger for them to come sooner? Gritter, it already is a trigger. They will come sooner when you call them. They'll be like a minute or 2 away from the FBO afterwards. But yes, they will hurry up. Oh. Anti-skid. Anti-skid test here.
All right, Captain. Fuel truck is hooked up. Just
So,
let me know how much fuel you need. Or would you like to go tanks full today?
we are not going to go tanks full. But we will request... Let me do some mental math here. So we want to go... San Fran's about an hour flight. So I'm going to take... call it 6,000 pounds of fuel. So we'll put on 3,200. And take up a little quickie... There we go. So it's 470 gallons, or give or take. Call it 480. About there. Good stuff.
All right. I'm gonna go start up the pump.
So we'll go ahead and have them start up the pump here. I'm gonna go and first turn on the right side. Get that filled in a little bit, and then we'll put the rest of the fuel in. Good. Where were we? Anti-skid tested and armed. Nose door. Yes, clear. Hydraulic 3A pump. There we go. Brake pressure. Is checked. Parking brake. Gotta mash down on our brakey brakes. And parking brake is set. Nose door. Is closed. Hydraulic panel and pumps. And do a quick hydraulic check on everything. All 3 systems pressurized and good stuff. Get them over to auto. And these messages are expected. Electric panel. Elec panel is good. AC DC utility switch is out. Start ignition panel is checked. Fuel panel. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. APU LCV. And now this guy can come on. I probably overfilled the left side a little bit. APU LCV is open. There's the message there. Good stuff. 10th stage isolation valve. Open. Packs. We'll bring up the left one. And the right one. Good stuff. Air conditioning panel. Air cons. So we're checking. We got norm. Temperature is about where I expect it to. Rammer out. Cockpit or cabin control is on cabin. Pressurization panel. Is good. San Francisco sea level. Bleed air panel. In fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the real weather here in the sim. Hopefully it's not too cloudy because it's going to destroy my... Okay, it's just windy. That'll destroy my frames. Bleed air is looking good. In,
Pull
out,
up.
out.
Pull up. Pull up.
Oh, right.
Pull up.
Yeah, that's because we changed the pressure suddenly. And the thing got a little bit scared. TD, the overhead, switch color lights. Yes, they did. Slightly different. Yes, they did. Supplemental ground wing anti-ice panel switch. And it's out. Cal anti-ice switches. Select through. No cautions. Anti-ice panel. Good. Windshield heat test. 4 messages for the windshields. Good stuff. Detector. Ice detected. Wing overheat.
Wing overheat.
And test OK. Emergency lights. Armed. Passenger signs. On. No passengers on board. We can actually leave this off. These off while we're refueling. Pitballs. Now I've made the left side to... Or, yeah, the left side is now over full. Okay, I'm going to watch this for a few seconds here. And I'll wait for a little bit longer. At 300 pounds apart. Now there's a fair amount of lag on these, so that's why I kind of overshot. Okay, well, he's probably completed refueling here, so whatever we've got on board, we're going to have to live with as our imbalance. That's fine. The APU is feeding out of the right side anyway, so who cares? ELT. ELT is armed. Flare shield panel. Flare shield panels are... Cancel. All that is looking good. No. This primarily you're looking to make sure you don't have the AP disconnect.
Refueling is complete, Captain. Do you need anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, just one quick signature on here.
Blah, blah.
I'll be on my way. Here's a copy for your records. Have a nice day.
Outer marker. No, this gravity crossflow works whenever the valve is open, and you're not supposed to be using it on the ground. Crew and passenger oxygen. Okay, crew oxygen is... So, total oxygen is 1850 with an OAT of about 12 degrees. It's a little bit over serviced. I gotta fix that eventually. Okay. Left side is feeding. Feeding. DCU warning panel. And passenger oxygen is norm. Out. Guard it. CBR. CBR test. Select a no. So test is good. Audio panels are for now set. I'm actually gonna be talking on radio 2 initially. For the time being though, they can stay. I guess this way is good. SPS system. SPS system. Okay, so let's go ahead. Channel 1. Trim all the way down to 0. Good. SPS disconnect. I'm sorry, the trim disconnect. Message is understood. Okay, stall test. SP disconnect here. Working. Good stuff. Test on the other side. And APSP disconnect. I can pull back. Good stuff. So, test is good. G-switch I don't have bound for, so I can test that one. Integrated standby instrument is... Well, it's functional. I'd have to like set correct barrel pressure. We're going to get that in a sec. You're going to use gravity crossflow. Yes. Clock. Clock is reset. EFIS, ICAS. EFIS and ICAS. So EFIS is indicating we don't have any caution and error messages on here. All good. And that's all also good. ICAS. All indications are showing, so we don't have any fault indications there. Good stuff. Main landing gear bay overheat. Down here.
Gear bay overheat.
And fail test. And what I didn't do is I didn't do the fireworks monitor test earlier. So we got 4 squibs okay, 2 squibs okay, warning.
Jet pipe overheat.
And we got 5 messages for fire on here.
Overheat.
And 5 fails should be on there. And there indeed are. TOS warning switches. TOS warning switches are out. We can do a quick TOS test. Come on, baby. Did I not hold you for long enough? There it is.
Glide slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Terrain.
Yeah,
Pull
with the
up.
AP you can get, yeah, pretty low, I guess. There are gotchas, definitely, to the Challenger's fuel system.
Pitch and roll disconnects.
Are in and stowed.
Ground spoilers.
Are, that's a functional check, isn't it? Oh no, we just checked that it's auto, yes.
Thrust reversers.
Are armed and checked.
Thrust levers.
Are gonna be checked. Full travel. Shut off. Full travel. Shut off.
Engine speed switches.
On.
Engine vibration check.
Vibration check. Good there. Good N2s.
Oral warning.
Good.
Smoke detector.
Smoke detect.
Smoke.
One of the worst messages you ever want to hear.
Trims. Mock trim.
Trims. So actually, what we're gonna do, we're gonna first off test channel 1 and mock trim 1. Go and run you through the entire range. All the way to full nose up. Good. All the way to full nose down. And I should be able to interrupt it. Ah, crap. I didn't want to let go of my button there. So, go ahead again. Right to the clacker. Good, and stops. Go number 2 channel. We'll test on this side now. Wait for the clacker. Okay, go the other way. I'll set it right there. And disconnect is good. Message comes on. All swell. So with that check fully completed, we can go ahead and throw these on.
Yacht ampers.
Yacht ampers are coming on. Message is out.
Reversionary inhibit switches.
Our norm, left MFD, norm, number 2, and these are all on norm and norm. There we go. Saying not to use gravity crossflow. Yes. It might take it to your heaviest tank.
IRS.
IRS is aligned. We don't have an IRS aligning message here, or here, or here. And there's actually a check you can perform by going here to MFD data, display menu, IRS status, and they are all mode nav. Good stuff.
CPDLC.
I didn't file it up with for CPDLC, I guess, for pickup, so we can go ahead and do that. We are going to be, they don't have CPDLC on here, do they? In Medford. Let's see. Let me just check that quickly. Mile to edge. You fix the the imbalance on ground. Jonesy crew. What you do is you let fuel flow out of the side tanks into this aux, into the center essentially. Yes, we want CPDLC. I don't want that remark in there. We're gonna go flight level 370. Good stuff. Is that? Oh, already, it's already filed. Good stuff. Okay. The flight plan is on file. What is the purpose of stab trim disconnect button on the joystick? Prevent trim runaway? Yes, exactly. That's what that is for. I mean, it's the only way to disconnect the system. And so I thought might as well put the button close to your fingers. So you've got your hand wrapped around it and suddenly you feel like you get this message when you didn't expect it. For whatever reason. You go, oh, holy shit, we got a trim runaway. Quickly mash the button here and kill the thing. If that doesn't work, you pull the breaker. Well, you've got 2 switches on both sides, I guess. Yeah, I suppose you might start pulling breakers if that doesn't work. So bring it back into my takeoff range here. There we go. Get rid of the display menu. Good stuff.
TCAS.
TCAS test. Tune. A brief TCAS test. Yeah.
TCAS system test OK.
I mean, you could have the other pilot do that for you, I guess.
ATIS and clearance.
Right. CPDLC is, I gotta log on into the app, provided that the controller has processed my request. Let's see. I'm gonna go flight plan, secondary, Medford to San Francisco, activate, execute. It should pick up the chart. There we go. And does it mention that we have CPDLC on here? I forgot where Jeff puts that on their charts. Do model conflicting trim commands? Yes. Hawker driver, yes I did. So it actually doesn't stop. If there's a conflict between the 2 switches, there's a set order in which the precedence takes place. So the captain's side has higher priority than the co-pilot side, and the co-pilot side has higher priority than the autopilot. So if, let's say, co-pilot actuated the trim, you see that? So I'm going to bring this up so you can see what's happening. I got to be able to reach the captain's side by using my mouse here. So I'm going to operate the co-pilot's trim here. Let's go nose up. And if I operate the other one the opposite way... Oh, hang on, it's... Ah, crap. The click spot is operating the default one. Standby. I gotta use a keybind for this. No. It's trim, control wheel, and we want to go captain's control wheel, outboard stab trim, switch nose up. Let's make you that, I guess. Inboard stab trim, nose up. That one's gonna go, sure, whatever. Good stuff. So if I go nose up now, or nose down, actually. And if captain pushes their button the opposite way, it can counteract my trim. I have like 30 ambient, still marks 0. The ambient temperature here, the ITT starts showing at about 50 degrees for this. So it'll show 0 essentially all the time on the ground. When the engine is cool enough anyway. So yeah, conflicting snap trim commands are simulated. Although you'd probably need a full cockpit build for it to show up. CPDLC, right. I want to bring up that a window, which you probably can't see, but that's okay. Fans GUI. Actually, I'm just going to do it from the command line because I'm lazy like that. Let's go to fans GUI, log on status, KUSA. I'm November 650 Charlie Lima. Ah, okay, they're not going to process our request here, so whatever. That trim is really cool. Shared flight would be cool with that, yeah. So no CPDLC for us today. Anyway, ATIS and clearance. Let's go ahead and talk to them. Just say again. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't notice it on the chart anyway. So ATIS, we have ATIS Info Hotel. Meter is 3027. Let's go talk to Hawker Driver momentarily here. I'm just going to set all the meters. 3027. And that one's already set since the first officer follows whatever I do. Last DP airport for that matter. Oh my. Oh well. I'm gonna have to talk to Keith about that. Your file is hot start 1. No, I'm not that cool. I don't get custom call signs. Okie doke. And so let's go ahead and how did you like shift? Yeah, whatever. So we are ATIS and clearance. Oh, it's kind of unsure where we are. One more thing, I'm probably gonna have to change the arrival, or actually set up an arrival. That's because ending at Melbeck. Let's go talk to ATIS first, and they'll give us a clearance limit. I want to bring up this guy. Good stuff. Put up some smooth jazz while calling a Hawker driver. Now you gotta hear me talk to Hawker driver. And so, since I'm lazy, I'm just gonna go index frequency here at MFR, and for ATIS. Actually, I've already got ATIS. So just go ahead and call ground, I guess. I'm gonna put you over into COM2. I'm talking and listening on.
49 Echo Romeo, radar service is terminated. Squawk in, maintain VFR. If exchanges approval, see ya. Squawk and maintain VFR, change frequency as well, and you take it easy, 9 Echo Romeo.
Okay, I think you can hear him and you can hear me, so it's all gonna be good.
305 Echo Lima, contact 41 approach, 124.35.
Okay, that guy's just read back. Medford Ground, good afternoon. November 650 Charlie Lima with information hotel looking for IFR clearance to San Francisco.
Challenger 650 Charlie Lima, Medford Ground, good afternoon. Clear to the San Francisco Airport. Jackson 1 departure, Rogue Valley VOR, and then it's filed. Climb maintain 11,000. Departure frequency 124.3, squawk 4361.
Clear to San Francisco, Jackson 1 departure, Rogue Valley VOR, then is filed. 11,000 for initial climb, 124.3 for departure, 4361 for squawk. November 650 Charlie Lima.
Challenger 650 Charlie Lima, read back correct.
Oh, would you look at that? Are these frequencies are all from the sim? Tim, they're from the scenery, whatever. Hopefully the scenery author... Oh, wow, yeah. A lot of people talking to each other. They were picked up from the scenery, so whatever the scenery author put in is what we're going to be showing you. I don't have a database of every frequency out there. So 11,000, Jackson 1 departure, Rogue Valley transition. So Jackson 1, then to the Rogue Valley VOR OED. Yes. Actually, it needs a runway as well, huh? Departing runway is going to be actually those are wrong ATIS. I didn't listen to the ATIS. I gave them the wrong ATIS. I kind of lied there. Well, bad me. Frequency ATIS at Medford. Let's have a listen.
Rogue Valley International Airport, ATIS Information Whiskey, 2353 Zulu, wind calm, visibility 10, sky condition clear, temperature 16, dew point -2, altimeter 3040, arriving and departing runway 14, visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information whiskey.
Good stuff. So we've got info whiskey there. That's all good. So I'm gonna go swap back to ground. Let's see. 30-40 on the meter actually here. So fairly high temp. 30-40. Good stuff. And it's calm. Temperature is 16, so I'm just gonna pop in here 16. Dew point is -2, so it's super dry. Runway 14 for departure. Good stuff. So runway 14, Jackson. Execute. Check legs here. We'll check with the chart. Come on, swap over to my departure chart. So Camera sectors are condensed, so all real world frequencies will work. Yes. Good. So 1-4, gonna be heading 143, heading 143 to 1800 or above. Then a right turn, heading 322 heading to intercept 352 into Rogue Valley. So 352 into Rogue Valley is going to be intercepted. And we can even view that on here if we zoom a little bit tighter. And I'm going to swap over to plan mode. So 1800 right turn, intercept 352 to Rogue Valley, and then it's probably going to get a turn back. We're kind of departing in the wrong way there. Then Melbeck, and that's our actually only point from here to San Fran. I'm going to check the rest of my route here on the clearance. My filing actually. Let's see. Gotta go there. Bring up SimBrief. I should have had my SimBrief package ready to read. I was a proper pilot, but I'm not. Print. There we go. And our route is blah blah blah. Is the right one? Bodega 3. Yeah, okay. Bodega 3 is the arrival. So arrive Bodega 3 via Melbeck. Then there's going to be disco after this, so I can go ahead and clear that out. Make sure it carries over our constraint 290 or above. Good stuff. So that is clearance received. Good stuff. Go back to checklists.
FMS flight plan, wind update, perf.
So flight plan is completed. We'll do a perf in it here. Perf in it. I don't have any fuel selected there, so we're just gonna punch in that we got 6,000 on board. That's what we filed. We got no passengers on board. Flight level 370 is our cruise. Execute. FMC says we've got plenty of fuel on our destination, so we're not gonna even worry about it. But as a part-time IRL pilot coding from the jump seat, probably. So wind update. Send off for the wind update, and that is pretty much the item completed here. Good stuff.
Takeoff data.
Got perf in it. Takeoff. It's 1-6. Are we gonna put the winds in correctly? Yeah, we sure can. Winds are calm, so that's easy. So there's no wind. Good stuff. It's asking for the winds to be entered. 3,700 feet. Good weights. I'm probably gonna have like 20, 25 or whatever on the CG there. There we go. 5.4. I'm gonna eventually like produce a proper chart for this. You need to restart sim after a license update. So Kurana, you don't know. You can just go ahead and roll. Good. Send this data over. Get that sent, and we can review the winds, like wind. There's surprisingly little wind info there. I gotta check this. Should have pulled in the winds. Why aren't you pulling in the winds? Is this a bug? Oh, whatever. I'll enter prevailing winds from my flight plan. Prevailing winds. Average wind is 276 at 29, so 276 at... Actually, I can enter the wind component, which is bugger all, -1. So go to perf init, cruise wind, execute -1. Just use a range of 20 to 30. Yeah. Stuff. Good.
Avionics and charts.
Avionics charts are loaded.
Flight instruments.
Flight instruments. So initial setup here. Is there a speed constraint on the departure? There is not. So I'm going to select 200 on a speed. 11,000 feet is already set in the annunciator there. You can go ahead and push N1 for TOTO. And 3040 is set. We're navigating off FMS1 on the left. On the right, we're navigating off FMS2. Initial heading, by the way. Oh, I forgot to set that. The initial heading is going to be your runway heading. That's set. Then 200 knots, 11,000 feet, 3040 on a meter. Good.
Departure briefing.
Departure reforwarding. Abducted, so good stuff.
Emergency procedures.
Scream and yell and don't bother me. Refueling is complete, by the way. We can turn on the cabin lights.
Pins, covers, chocks.
Ooh, I don't think I did the pins, did I? Oh, I did. They're gone. Chucks are out, except for the nose. That's all good. And covers. Ooh, one more thing. I don't think I did a full pre-flight walk around. I should have done that. Good stuff.
Cabin lights, water heaters, master seat.
That's all set up.
Flight compartment checklist complete.
Good.
Engine start checklist next.
Lovely stuff. Let's get the engine starts going. Now, where are we in terms of positioning, just for references? We are at transient parking. Good, good, good. And so expecting for runway 14, taxi clearance is going to be probably... we're going to shuttle ourselves over to Bravo 2, shuttle Bravo. Alpha, yeah, that's pretty understood. Good stuff. So we can park and break in. Let's get close to close the doors. Lock-in indicator is closed. Good stuff. Yeah, we got somebody else flying today with us. Good, good, good. Good person. All that is understood. The brightness down a little bit.
Engine start checklist. Doors
Are closed.
closed. Parking brake and pressure.
5 Echo Lima, your other left, heading 150.
Fuel quantity and balance.
Is good.
Beacon
Left 150, sorry about that, 5 Echo Lima.
on. Fuel boost pumps. On. Ignition.
Today is, what's the date today? It is an even day, so we'll call it number 2.
Armed. Engine 2 start.
650 Charlie Sierra is cleared to the San Francisco Airport northbound
Okay, I'm gonna
7 departure. Then
bring you
as
folks down a little bit. We're going to request startup clearance from the ground crew. Good stuff. All covers are closed, so let's go.
San Francisco northbound 7 departure, then is filed. Climb maintain flight level 230.
Our timer.
6237.
0 Charlie Sierra, back.
Oh, right, I had a fault on this. Ah, damn it, I have a fault on this airframe here. Yeah, how do I solve you quickly? Okay, we're gonna do a quick hack here. I'm gonna save my airframe state here. I know why I wasn't flying this now. Now I remember. Core rotor locked right. Okay, we'll save you. And I'm just going to quickly botch this out of the airplane. How do I do this most elegantly? Let's just go modify lift turbine, I guess. Damage multiplier.
130-3000 established, clears the ILS 10
Shaft
left.
locked. No. And let's make you just like so. And stand by. Our show shall continue in just a sec here. I quickly reload the airplane. Hopefully it didn't bork everything. And editing state files. Yeah. So to speak. Now let's continue to load you up. Publish a specification. There is no specification. This thing is completely internal. It depends very much on the internals of the airplane. Okay, so there we go. Okay. So 20 less than 120 and 1 indicating. It had a locked right core rotor because of an overheat condition that I was testing. Overheated oil, basically. Okay. Nice and cool. Okie doke. So, engine 2 is started.
Fuel system.
Fuel system check. So, take both lights out. Fuel low pressure. Check.
Engine 1 start.
Actually, no. I want to go and request clearance to start number 1. Good stuff. So engine 1 can go start. Wait for the light. Lock. Max 90 seconds on the starter, by the way. 20 seconds, 20%, less than 120, and 1 indicating. Light off. What is the departure report again? Medford, KMFR. Hold a manual release. I guess that's a way
Engine
to do
start checklist complete.
Good stuff.
After start checklist.
30
next.
seconds on the start, so that's all good. Come on. 1, 2. There we go. After start checks.
After start checklist. Generator 1 and 2.
Good stuff. And generator
On,
1
checked
and
AC
2.
and DC.
Good
Ignition.
and good.
Disarmed. Packs. On. 14th stage. Open. Cowl anti-ice.
Portland Tower, King Air 305
On.
Echo
Check
Lima,
45
ILS
seconds.
10
Flight
left.
controls.
305 Echo Lima, Portland Tower, wind.
So we'll make a box with them.
Good land 10 left, 5 Echo Lima.
Pull right pedal, pull left pedal. Good stuff.
Ground spoilers.
Block ground spoilers. Arm. Up. Back. Disarm. Goes down. Center. Don't deploy.
Flight spoilers.
All 4.
Cowl anti-ice.
Yes, green advisory message on.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice.
Yeah, sure. Let's do a test.
Fuel balance.
Fuel balance is checked.
Trims.
Trims are 5.40 and 0.
No steer.
Is on.
Armed. APR.
APR number 1 check. APR 1 test okay. APR number 2 check. Number 2 test okay.
ADG unit.
Unit test. Light goes out.
Supplemental ground wing anti-ice.
And in a sec here we should have the light going out in about a minute. Or 50 seconds maybe. I had automatically perform FO actions and check. The FO will plow ahead with the checklist anyway without waiting. And not yet, Rukoa. No, it isn't. It isn't changed. I know it's there as an issue. I just didn't get to fixing that one. Don't mind. Don't hold that against me. I won't. Okay, come on, baby.
Southwest 848, connect Denver Center, 127.
Gonna fly Chelly in a white TZ.
3702, so...
I suppose. I'm not entirely sure where that is. Unless it's medevac. There we go. Green message on.
Cowl anti-ice.
Is off.
Off. Wing anti-ice.
Is norm.
Norm. 14th stage isolation valve.
Is open. Close this.
Wing anti-ice. Checked. Off. ATS. N1 TO. ATC TCAS.
Yes. What's our code again? Our code is 4361. I'm gonna put that in there. 4361. Code in TARA.
TARA. After start checklist complete. Taxi checklist next.
Sweet.
Challenger 650, Charlie Sierra, GA parking with the minute weather, ready to taxi.
Good stuff. Check left. Check right. Clear.
Taxi via Alpha, Challenger 0, Charlie
Give him a quick flash. Brakes off. Actually, no, not brakes off. We still have chocks in, so go ahead and request the chocks be taken out. Get rid of this timer here. Come on, buddy. There we go. Now we'll give him a quick flash. Check left and right. All good. Brakes off. And looks like we got to do a turn here. Flip ourselves over onto the other side. And I'm going to take charts on this here display. So steering is checked. My side brakes are checked. Good stuff. Needs to be a little hill here, necessitating a little bit of power. Come on, why so slow?
1406 Tango, Denver Center. Good evening. Clear to the Leadville Airport. As filed, maintain 17,000.
Let's go ahead and zoom this guy in. I can see. Yeah, we're Bravo 2. Go to Bravo.
Alright, clear to Lake County as filed.
Wait, is that a movement area? There's actually already a movement area right here, apparently. Is it? Or is it not? There is no hold line there. I'm just going to call that we're at transient parking. Okay. Metro Ground, Challenger 650 Charlie Lima, transient parking with information whiskey, request taxi.
650 Charlie Lima, Medford Ground, runway 14, taxi via Alpha.
14 via Alpha, November 650 Charlie Lima. Okay. We just take a, no we can't, we could take a right here, left, right, good stuff. Because we got our own choice of taxiway. Let's go ahead and do whatever we want. Doesn't take a lot of power to taxi, so. Fuel imbalance. What are you saying there, buddy?
Portland Tower, 5
It's because I've turned. You see that? That's pretty normal. On turning, you'll get
5 Echo Lima. Roger.
They tell you not to take these too seriously for about 30 seconds after a turn.
Frequency 5 Echo Lima.
Northbound Tower, Challenger 650, Charlie Sierra, short runway 5, ready for departure.
650 Charlie Sierra, Northbound Tower, runway 5, clear for takeoff, wind 350 at 7.
Clear for takeoff, runway 5, Challenger 0, Charlie Sierra.
Actually didn't program this in manually. This was sort of fell out automatically. Out of the physics there. So I didn't actually plan this to show up, but yeah, I did. Okay, we don't have anybody on the left there, so we can take a turn.
Taxi checklist.
checks.
Taxi lights. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
Not required.
Brakes and steering.
Checked.
Reverse thrust.
Yes, just do a double check here. Checked.
If taxiing the de-ice, call flaps. 20. Altimeters. Set and cross-checked. Radar weather. On. Takeoff briefing.
Is reviewed.
Taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist next.
And I'm going to bring up charts on this side here. So, tower here. Quick reference. Tower is 19.4. I'm just going to go ahead and put in 19.4 on there. And departure is 124.3. Yes, it is. 24.3. Got a preset there. Good stuff. EFITT. And then all I gotta do is just swap to the other radio and we'll be on tower. Hey, 777 Bob, how are you? Yeah, I will take the HUD, why not? I have it, I've coded it. Oh, I know it's reliable.
0 Charlie Sierra, connect Seattle Center.
Seattle Center, Challenger 0 Charlie Sierra.
I don't even have to add power. I got so much idle thrust. We're doing 21 knots on the ground here just by doing
650 Charlie Sierra, Seattle Center,
extra.
radar contact.
There's, I think there's a slight downhill slope there. We're gonna have to step on the brakes. We don't run off the end there. Good, coming up on turn here.
Southwest 195, roger.
I'm gonna swap over to tower. Turn off ground. And for tower, November 650 Charlie Lima, short of runway 14 on Alpha, ready for departure.
650 Charlie Lima, Medford Tower, wind 110 at 3, runway 14, clear for takeoff.
14, clear for takeoff, November 650 Charlie Lima. So, wind's out of the right there.
Before takeoff checklist. Passenger signs. Advised on. Anti-collision light. On. Pros. On. Windshield heat. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
Runway appears to be clear. We don't need it.
Continuous ignition. On.
Airport sector is clear.
TCAS. TARA. Supplemental ground wing anti-ice panel. Checked. CAS. Takeoff config OK.
Is observed.
Landing pulse recog lights. On. Before takeoff checklist.
Walker 390, roger.
After takeoff checklist next.
As they say, the most useless thing in life is runway you left behind yourself. So let's go ahead and line up nice and brief. Good, ready to go. Everybody got your spleens buckled. I'm gonna get this over to PPAS. Zoom that in. We're gonna be looking for a turn after 1800 feet. Let's go. ATS on. We're looking for 90.8. Okay, the thrust is achieved. 80 knots. E1. Rotate. There we go. Positive rate of climb indicated. Forgot to shower today. There's 1800 feet. So it's a right turn. Or are you commanding to stay level? Oh, that was overbanked a little bit. Okay, above target speed, flaps are coming up.
650 Charlie Lima, connect Cascade departure.
Cascade departure, November 650 Charlie Lima. Okay, I'm going to take the autopilot now. And we're going to go to Cascade departure. Cascade departure, November 650 Charlie Lima, 5000, climbing 1000.
650 Charlie Lima, Cascade departure, radar contact.
Okay, got a 250 on the speed.
650 Charlie Sierra, contact Seattle Center 135.15.
I'll lower the nose here a little bit for passenger comfort. Actually, headset on.
135.15, 35.15.
There's the intercept. And Red Road Valley. We had a face showing she's not happy about something.
650 Charlie Sierra, Seattle Center. Good evening. Climb and maintain flight level 390.
Okay, after takeoffs.
After takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up. Flaps. 0. Thrust reversers. Off.
32314, connect
Ignition.
Los Angeles Center, 126.35.
It's actually already
Pressurization.
turning back to make that sharp turn around
Checked.
there.
PAX transition.
Affirmative.
It's allowed to turn up to 7 miles away from Rogue Valley, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the turn.
Completed. N1. Climb set. APU generator. Off. APU. Shut down. Passenger signs.
Is we can keep them on. We're gonna be maneuvering somewhere.
CAS.
Is clear.
After takeoff checklist complete.
You're a good passenger, Tim, I'm sure. The best. If any of the VIPs want to join Mile High Club in the cabin, ensure an NDA is signed, and Jenny, make sure ground crew is on standby. Keep getting a VOD later for details.
650 Charlie Lima, connect Seattle Center, 135.15.
3515, 650 Charlie Lima. Okay, 3515. Seattle Center, November 650 Charlie Lima, 11,000.
650 Charlie Lima, Seattle Center, good evening, climb and maintain flight level 370.
Climb maintain 370, 650 Charlie Lima. Okie doke, 370 is cleared. So we are gonna go 280, flight level change. 370 on level. We don't mind the speed excursion because we want to accelerate. We're about 10,000 anyway. 370, there we go. Lights off. All the other stuff is explainable. We're going to keep them on for a little bit long, for the seatbelts a little bit longer. It's now turning back to re-intercept onto the course there. So don't worry about it. It looks horrible, but this is Orbex. I'm just going to leave it on autopilot there, or fully LNAVing. It's going to do like a pretty sharp turn in. Try and get back on path as soon as possible.
Walker 390, connect Seattle Center, 126.
So yeah, this is Orbex Sure HD, I think. Why didn't FD follow the LNAV for the initial turn after takeoff? I have to check that at Orion 617. I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I turned manually. I knew it was going to be a right turn. I'm not entirely sure why it delayed the turn that much.
Walker 390, Seattle Center, Seattle
How to
Center,
display charts on the MFD? Well, there's a button for it. It's called Chart. Right there. So, take off the synthetic vision. Don't need it anymore.
406, Tango Denver
Above
Center,
any
release for
terrain.
time down 0126.
Back, we're going to go to standard barrow.
Change to advisory frequency is approved. Report over.
Standard barrow and standard stuff. And so for charts, you just push. First, I got to move the ICAS over someplace else. You know, I can take charts on here. Or I could select charts on the right side at any time. Oh, yeah, we're already away from the departure there. Do certain height before beginning a turn. Isn't that common? No, that is common, but that was not the way the procedure was coded anymore. So it should have turned right away. It should have turned correctly. Okay, those attitudes low enough, so seatbelts off. I mean, there's nobody in the back anyway, so who gives a crap? On several departures, flown about 150 hours in the CL650 by now. Yeah, I need to check PromoWave why it did that. It shouldn't have. There is a coded direction on that procedure, so it should have turned to the right. Now, it was just trying to sort of stay wings level for some reason. Kind of dumb. Oh, it's got to be some sort of weird corner case somewhere. You need to change the ICAS to the PFD. Well, you need to just move it someplace other than where you want to show the charts. If I want to charts on here, you can't have the ICAS on here. If I want to show charts on the right side, I can do that because the ICAS is not there. But if I, for example, move the ICAS over to the right, now the right side cannot display charts. So if I go this and try and push charts here, I'm going to say selection inactive because I've got the ICAS over there. So that is why. Go to the menu here, and I'm going to roll you down to Bodega, Arrival, and Millback is our first point on there. Good stuff. We're above transition and all that other stuff, so we can go ahead and close these guys in. So let's see what is the atmosphere doing today. It is slightly warmer than standard, not too much.
1406 Tango, Denver Center ID.
But it is going to get fairly cold up there. We go to 37,000. Going to be slightly below standard temperature once we get up there. Running away from 2P, we're entering the net.
Tango, thank you. Radar contact to southwest at Durango. Durango altimeter 3037.
Schmoopy. Yeah, there's some like humidity up there, fairly close to 100% humidity. So there would be, I would expect, I mean, if X-Plane wasn't dumb, it would draw like a good cirrus layer up here. Yeah, whatever. How the rat works. Well, the Ram air turbine on here, or the air, Bombardier calls it the air-driven generator, ADG, on here. And when you pop that out of the nose, it's actually on the nose. Let me just change something on here so we don't blow each other's ears out. On the Challenger, it's stowed in here in a little compartment right there. And when it pops open, well, that's what you get there. And it is a Active Sky for Linux. No Active Sky. Well, don't have Active Sky for Linux. It's not an MS fan. Yeah, I hate him. So, what was I wanting to say here? Right, the air-driven generator on the Challenger provides AC power. It hooks up in here into the AC Essential bus. Or if I show you on the study menu, which is a lot more detailed, it's right there. This is the air-driven generator. And it goes through an ADG bus, where you've got a hydraulic 3B supply directly wired onto that bus, and then it goes through a bus breaker. It's a three-phase breaker. It then goes through the AC transfer contactor, powers AC Essential bus, which you have. Had a strange P3D issue. Turns out to be Windows 11 downgrade to Windows 10. No P3D issue. Oh, great. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Yikes. Essential TRU1, TAWS, stabilizer channels, stabilizer number 2 channel bleed leak detection, flap motor number 1, that kind of stuff. So basic electrics, basic high power consumers on here, except for TAWS. TAWS is a low power consumer, but that's supplied by Honeywell. This is a third party piece of avionics that takes AC power for some reason. And you've got an essential bus breaker here. Essential TRU goes to right over there into this guy. This is the essential transformer rectifier for number 1, which is over, if we show it on DC Elect, it's this guy here. Comes up out of there and feeds the DC Essential bus, which you've got a lot of avionics on, and battery bus, which you've got probably more avionics on. So it feeds these two buses here. That's how you get emergency power on the jet. Basically just gets you left 2 screens on here. Basic, 1 stabilizer channel, 1, it doesn't even provide autopilot power. Okay, transition to Mach. There we go, Mach 0.80 climb. Got an ASXB to run with mine. Huh? I guess I could at some point. If I wanted to mess with it, I guess. I'm not the kind, though. How are you, mate? Hey, Scarebus Driver, how are you doing? So yeah, there we go. Picking up the climb right here again. Up to our flight level 370 climb. Just about to level off here on the prediction. Top of climb in maybe 15 miles, 10 miles.
390, connect Seattle approach, 125.6.
And it's not a very long cruise. 150 miles of cruise, maybe 140.
Southwest
30.
195, connect Phoenix approach, 128.65.
8.65, Southwest 195.
Good stuff. How is everybody? We've been busy here, obviously,
Approach
as you can
Southwest
tell.
195, ascending through 10,000. He has a Bruiser 1 arrival with Mike.
-2 on the ISO.
Phoenix approach, altimeter 3021 at Jamil, cleared ILS from 8 approach.
3021 and
Trouble with flying unpredictability at the name of the game. Yeah.
Walker 390, Seattle
Cool.
approach,
777
altimeter
miles.
3048, expect
Hope you're gonna
approach runway
enjoy the air, the smell and the look of things here in X-Plane, I guess.
650 Charlie Lima, contact Oakland Center, 132.95.
3295, 650 Charlie Lima. 3295. Oakland Center, November 650 Charlie Lima, flight level 365, climbing flight level 370.
650 Charlie Lima, Oakland Center, good evening. Southwest 848,
Okay,
connect
standard
Albuquerque Center,
and standard is all set. So, yeah.
1346, Southwest 848.
On aircraft with QNH, standard talking about the HPAs and standard under the hood. Yes. Well, Tim, it depends on the avionics. I do simulate it as being 1013.25 under the hood. So on the 1013 aircraft, you can actually see a shift of like, I don't know, a few feet when you change from standard to 1013 meter. It's not enough to make it much of a difference, but it's there. Cool. So yeah.
For 305 Echo Lima, Portland clearance cleared to the North Bend Airport, Portland 2 departure, radar vectors Newburgh. Dennis filed, maintain 6,000, departure frequency 118.42, squawk 2604.
Well, it's super light, so it doesn't burn much fuel at all today. Barely 2,000 pounds an hour total. 1,900 maybe.
5 Echo Lima, reback grip.
Yeah, how's everybody doing? You've seen the update. You know, it's not earth-shattering. It's not gonna, I guess, blow your socks off, but it's a lot of nice little additions. Just little tweaks here and there. As usual, sorry for not getting to everybody's fixes, everybody's, you know, has reported issues. We appreciate all the reports. Always keep those coming in. We do want to hear about any issues that you've hit. To a C208. Yeah. Not even more, to be honest, when that medevac model is out. New acceleration is what an is lovely. Ah, cool. Glad you like it. So it was accelerating before already. I just kind of, I guess, steepened it up a little bit. Question, I had trouble climbing 390410 when I had the same takeoff weight as a real flight I was following. Wonder if maybe I picked ice on climb. Perhaps, or it was just a little bit too cold. I'm not sure. So for the altitudes reported by aircraft, you have to be kind of careful a little bit. Flight level 390 to 410 is possible on a Challenger on an initial, but you have to be reasonably light. You can't be very, very heavy. And so question is what the weight of the aircraft was that you were trying to follow. Has some accelerated NSFW. 0 packs, I can find the full number, fuel number. Huh, interesting. Would be good to know, I guess. I mean, we have reproduced the climb profile of the real thing pretty crazy close, so 4,000 kilograms of potatoes. Who knows?
305 Echo Lima, Portland ground runway 10 left, taxi via Alpha and Echo.
Yeah, 4 tons of potatoes, that would do a number on your climb rate, I guess. 3 packs, 2 crew, a purser, and full tanks.
Southwest 195, connect Phoenix Tower.
I mean, happy in that case, you wouldn't be climbing that high anyway. Not a chance. 370 is the best you can hope for at that kind of a weight. In fact, full tanks and 6 people on board is probably over max weight. Yeah, for
195, Phoenix Tower,
a full tank Challenger, you're probably looking at 1 person and 1 passenger. That's about it. 2 people on board in addition to the pilots. And you're going to be right at max takeoff weight. It's like 200 pounds or 400 pounds extra that you can put in. I did take off slightly heavy, but that's for a crossing. Sure, I suppose. I remember you started a stream, or you streaming there. You're probably still streaming it. I mean, you're doing it in Planet Crossing.
Kilo Tango San Francisco clearance clear to the Truckee Airport.
I didn't know how many people you got on board.
Transition, then direct. Climb via SID, except maintain 10.
Did the half bank engage automatically? Yes. That is automatic at flight level 316. Not that it makes a ton of difference here in cruise when you're especially on a straight segment here, but you know, it did automatically.
5 Kilo Tango, read that correct.
It's not 132 Kilo Tango. Oh, presumably disengages automatically. Yes.
169 Sierra Papa.
Haven't never reached.
NorCal approach, your release for departure time 0140. Clearance
so yeah, it does disengage automatically again at level 316, or you can manually select it if you want to. And that's low. That's fine. Take your time, have fun. Yeah, 316 is the automatic changeover for half bank mode. And found if our route was LCH LQTZ, takeoff weight was could not climb flight 410 at the area flight went to. That sounds doable. Just about. I'd rather take off heavy, slightly heavy, and have a relatively.
5 Kilo Tango San Francisco ground runway 28 right, taxi by
yeah,
Charlie. Cross runway 100 right and 100 left to Charlie.
How does turb work? I'm flying in severe turbulence and could not see or feel any different. Well, first of all, you have to understand that turb mode does not stop turbulence from happening. First thing the FMC was designed with no optimum recommended climb capability. Yeah, it doesn't tell you. And I'll be doing level 400 for the crossing. Cool. Promo wave. The turb mode is not to stop turbulence from happening. It is to stop the airplane from entering an oscillation or excessively over controlling. So, for example, when I push this in now, it didn't magically make the airplane, you know, not be in turbulence. You can still see that we've got turbulence. But what it did, if we were especially in somewhat heavier turbulence, what it would do is soften up the response rate for the autopilot. And it's not quite apparent on here, But if I
Foxtrot, correct.
bring up, for example, the aileron pit controller, so this is
Walker
the
390, connect Seattle Tower, 120.905.
this is the rate controller for the roll control. So watch what happens when I engage turbo mode. See how it halved? Well, let me put that back. We gotta have some actual turbulence happening.
I had to double
So,
check myself.
if I push it, watch how the
65
value,
Charlie
the
Lima,
deflections
descent
suddenly
via
halve.
the Bodega 3 arrival.
See? That's what it did. Basically halved the amount of response that the autopilot does. If I put it back on, it goes higher. Put it, or turn it on, it goes half. So it basically softens up the response of the autopilot because it expects that the airplane's either going to get bobbed about by the turbulence. So it's basically not going to try and over control and keep a very, very tight profile. Long taxi Boston radiation slightly longer than
Charlie Lima, descend via the Bodega 3 arrival.
Descend via Bodega 3, 650 Charlie Lima. Okay, we got to start actually thinking about our descent here. Top of descent is still a ways away. We've got our clearance, so we can set on the FCP here. We can set our minimum descent altitude, which is 11,000 at bricks.
Taxi Bravo Charlie 10.
So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of you. I'm going to bring up this guy and deselect it down at 11. There we go, there's 11. VNAV. VALT is armed, so it's going to descend when we get to the top of descent. If there's too much turbulence for the autopilot, disconnects automatically, correct? Yes, but for that you'd have to like reach like 45 degree bank or something like that. Challenger C tops 180. Yes, it is. Good. So I'm gonna disable the turbo mode. I don't need it. It's not that turbulent over here. So we're gonna go ahead and brief the arrival. Swap over to plan mode. Take the range down a little bit. And we'll go do a visual review. There we go. Melback. So our arrival is, we'll put it like that. There we go. Melback 290 or above. Good stuff. Johnny 280 between 240 and 280. 240 and 280 checks. Bigelow 280. Level 190 230. 19 230 280. Good. Lozit 280 and below 16. 280 and 16. Bodega 13. Cork 11,250. 13 or below Bodega, and Cork at exactly 11,250. Bricks 11,000. We'll expect vectors. Good stuff. So that's the arrival briefed. I'm going to go ahead and listen into the ATIS. Or check the ATIS, I guess. The ATIS, request the arrival ATIS at San Francisco. There we go, ATIS. Information is India. SFO, no wind. Clear, 18 degrees, 3026. And we'll be probably get vector for 28 right. We get into signature. And 28 left, departing runway 10 left. Visual purchasing, use VFR. We can go ahead and code in a visual approach, the charted visual for the Quiet Bridge, I guess. Let's see if we can get that in there. Come on, pick up the stupid... Good stuff. So, for the time being, I'm just going to go... Do we have it in the FMS as a code of procedure? Probably don't. It'd be kind of weird if we did. We don't. Good stuff. So, for that purpose, we got to go down here. Chart upper menu. Approach. Quiet Bridge visual, 2 at left and right.
Walker 390 rolling all the way down to the end, exit left, Romeo.
Let's go. Start programming, I guess. So, let's go build this puppy. I'm Canadian registered. Yeah, good stuff.
35 Kilo Tango, San Francisco, Tower 1, com, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff.
Okay, depart, arrive. We'll take a visual, or let's see, I'll take a visual for runway 28 right with a 3 mile extension. That should keep us within this segment here. This is about a 4 mile. Then San Mateo Bridge is on the 275 radial coming out of San Francisco. We'll jump over into legs. 28 right extension. Then I'm going to put in a custom waypoint, which is, I'm just going to pop it up like SFO 275, 6 miles at 1,800 feet. Then, and we're going to make it 1,800. And before that, it is 10 miles. SFO 270 mile 10. I'm going to call you SFO 10.
You're still in the voice room, but
SFD 10.
connected right now.
Sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, no problem. I'll connect.
SFD 10, and we'll just go ahead and put you over into plan mode and bring in the range so I can see what I'm doing.
650 Charlie Sierra, connect Oakland Center 132.95. 3295 Charlie Sierra. Walker 390 Romeo, connect to signature. You can remain this frequency.
There we go. Just a runway extension. We'll take you back. There we go.
Oakland Center, Charlie 650 Charlie Sierra, flight level 390.
And I'm coding it in the wrong way around, don't I? Yes. I am. So, I'm an idiot. So let's go ahead and collapse you. So you're going to be 275. No, it's not 275. It's 275 inbound course. The other way around. So it would be 095. Yes. 095 at 6 and call you SF6. There we go. Now it's starting to look correct.
6 Alpha Fox. Yeah, let's get now runway 26 left. Taxi via Lima.
MFD advance. Previous waypoint. There we go. Come on. There you go. Legs, and I'm going to collapse you, collapse that disco so we get it connected up. Nice. SF6. Then it's SFO 095 radial and 10 miles, SF10. Basically IATA for biz jets. And that one we want to be 2,500. We want to be 1,800 for this guy. And then we want to go and SFO 095, 15, SF15 with a 4,000 foot constraint.
5 Echo Lima, no, I'm just giving it to you. Connect Portland.
And SFO 095, not SF0, SFO 095, 20 miles, SF20. That is 6,000. And so finally that Archie.
305 Echo Lima, Portland departure, radar contact,
there we go.
Climb and maintain 14,000.
And it's looking pretty good, isn't it? What you guys say? Do we get that correctly? Hopefully. So check 1,800, 2,000, 2,500, 4,000 for Class Bravo airspace, 6,000 at SFO, and then Archie. That's 7,000 in fact. I'm going to put that in as well. 7,000 at Archie. Execute.
Radio 5 Kilo Tango, NorCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 190.
You made that look so easy. Well, I kind of have an idea what I'm doing, I guess. I know how that sausage is made. Okay, we're just about ready to start descending here. So about 2 miles. There we go. And Oakland Center, November 650, Charlie Lima, leaving flight level 370.
650, Charlie Lima. Oakland Center, thank you.
Hot and synthetic when you save my bacon, I suppose. Well, let's see if they're actually going to accommodate our plan here. We might just get completely thrown out the window. Come to think of it, we might actually get a different vectoring. We might get vectored in from Eddie and Sidby. If that is the case, I might need to rework some of that. It's not a big deal. Just delete Archie, that D20 and D15 point, put in Sidby 5, Eddie 6000. And that'll be perfect then. And we'll keep the guidance in for the IGWQ localizer. So it's 111.7 then for the guidance. Okay, first constraint here is 280, 240 to 280. Those custom waypoints go away if you get a different approach because they're below the disco. No, they won't. Go away? No, I mean, they're part of the flight plan. Denominated Mach number. Well, welcome.
5 Kilo Tango Connect, Oakland Center.
Welcome to the Challenger. That's how they do it here. Cine. There, it's just transition to airspeed.
Oakland Center, Station 5 Kilo Tango, 16,000, climbing flight level 190.
5 Kilo Tango, Oakland Center, climbing maintaining flight level 230.
230, 5 Kilo Tango.
Good stuff. So get rid of the chart here, and 31.4 thousand is going to be a predicted landing weight, so I'm going to just quickly do the approach. So perf, twice, approach, SFO, 28 right. We've got a temperature down at SFO if, I gotta look through the whole India info, if 18. Winds are calm, meter is 3026. Won't affect the distance computation very much, but there we go. And 31.4 predicted landing weight, 31.4 predicted landing weight, linear runway. We'll try and vacate at Echo. If you switch to another approach, you'd have to jump in and remove those custom waypoints. Right, yeah, no, you'd have to remove those. Yeah, they're not part of any approach procedure itself. You can use the alternate. You can use the secondary flight plan. In fact, we might just do that. So we can go copy active, copy complete, go to plan mode again. Check this out. I'm gonna get zoomed in a little bit just for funsies. MFD advance, previous, and we'll go to SFO 10 is the one where we were matched up, right? So I'm gonna bring these all right next to each other. SFO D10, good stuff. So flight plan, secondary legs, and it's currently showing the secondary flight plan matches exactly the primary one, but I'm gonna change that now. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete Archie, delete the 20 mile and the 10 and the 15 mile, and I'm gonna go SID-B. So there's SID-B at 5,000. And Eddie. Oh, come on, it keeps moving me to the next page because it thinks I'm going to enter more points. Okay, Eddie's 5, SID-B Eddie 6, SID-B 5, then SF10, 2,500, SF6, 1,800, then we swing over to the localizer. So we got our secondary flight plan ready to go with the alternate.
166 Alpha Foxtrot, I'll pass the tower.
Now there's a bit of a thing that we need to keep in mind, that on the secondary flight plan, we've still got the bodega in there. So we need to be aware that potentially we might need to skip a lot of this. So we'd have to go into, as soon as we activate the flight plan, it's going to try and go back to whatever state was on the secondary legs, which was still inbound Melbeck. So we might need to, dump those, or basically grab Eddie and pull it up all the way to the top. That's pretty easy to do anyway. So, yeah. Our contingency plan is planned out, I guess. So, descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Shoulder harness.
Is secure.
Passenger signs.
passenger signs. Where are we? 240, yeah, sure. On.
Pressurization.
Pressurization is checked, landing sea level, and actually we'll set the meter, which is set 3026. So come up here, 30, about 26 right there.
169. Sierra Papa advised me
Fuel quantity and balance.
Fuel quantity is looking good.
140,
Balance is
6
100
Tango.
pounds, so all good.
FMS, landing data, charts.
FMS is set up. Landing data is sent. Actually, is it sent? Just to confirm. Landing data is sent, and charts are loaded for we're expecting the quiet bridge visual.
Approach briefing.
It's completed. We'll be doing the quiet bridge visual. Requesting it anyway.
VNAV transition flight level.
He has 18,000 in the US. That's already set. That's default.
Descent checklist complete. In range checklist next.
Sweet. So 19230. Good stuff. The FMS is keeping us nice and safe on the descent here. I should have monitored it a little bit closer. But it's doing it perfectly. 280. Did you celebrate the Challenger release by picking up a new mouse? Actually, no. Well, the old mouse is out, so that one's thrown out. But I managed to snatch up a mouse that was given to my wife earlier by a friend of ours. She didn't want the mouse because the mouse wheel on it detached from the underlying, like the rubber outer ring on the mouse wheel detached from the underlying plastic that held the actual wheel itself. But we took a little bit of nail polish, reattached that, and sort of just I did my most favorite kind of new hardware purchase, which is to say no hardware purchase at all, just reused existing hardware that we already had. So good stuff. She had a different mouse, so this one was unused. Yeah, reuse what you can. Don't throw away. Don't That's kind of my motto. You want to be environmentally responsible, just fix old stuff. Don't buy new stuff. Fix old stuff and keep it running. Guess I'm kind of a boomer in that respect, even though I'm not a boomer. Okay. Golden Gate, baby. Right there. And a horrible reflection from X-Plane. Also great. You're sending an email from the data link. How do you make the @ sign on the FMC promo wave? So it won't actually send anything because we're not simulating emailing. That'll be kind of like a spam avenue. But the way you do it is using the @ word. So send message, email, and let's say foo@bar.com is what you put in there. And it would translate this over into an @ symbol. Okie doke, 11,000, pretty much at the cork right there. I can see the banana bar. Good stuff. So meter. So there are multiple ways to simulate to get a smooth transition onto meter, because what you'll see as soon as I do this, it's going to start a descent down to try and recapture the slope again. Fortunately, it's reasonably smooth at it. But on the real thing, yeah, it will hunt the path here. I've had a chat with real pilots and they say, yeah, there's multiple ways to doing this. Either you slowly advance it, or you take it momentarily out of VNAV path and just do a manual re-intercept using VS or something. But this was a reasonably close meter, so it wasn't a big deal. My friend did that in his studio, bought inexpensive compressors. Modded it down. Expensive components make them sound like a $10,000 compressor and only pay $500 for a unit component. It's great stuff. Very smart. Can you not make the fax thing to work? In fact, to my German colleagues. C3 Arrow, welcome aboard. How are you doing? Alrighty, I'm going to take synthetic vision here since we're arriving in terminal area. I want to be able to see. So San Francisco Bay.
650 Charlie Lima, contact NorCal approach 135.1.
135.1, November 600 Charlie Lima. 35.1. And got a data link, check my ATIS. NorCal approach November 650 Charlie Lima, 14,300 descending on a Bodega 3 with information India.
650 Charlie Lima NorCal approach, San Francisco, altimeter 3026. You have an approach request this evening?
3026, and would like to request the quiet bridge visual for 600 Charlie Lima. For right to your right.
Quiet bridge visual, you said?
Affirmative, quiet bridge visual.
Gotcha.
So for maximum surprise, I didn't request it from a specific waypoint, so I'm just going to leave it to the controller. I might get swapped over to the other side, so I'm going to have to deal with that. Yes, this is it's Orbex, so I would expect this to look good, right? It's supposed to. It costs money, so I would expect it to look good. Been here many times. Never lived here in the Bay Area, but I've been like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times at this point. Well, I guess not that many in some sense. Promo Wave, how you looking for specs? It's a Ryzen 3700X and a GTX 3060 Ti. Okay, 11,000 coming up. And yeah, then we'll have to start slowing down. Alright,
305 Echo Lima contact Seattle
we
Center.
drop the speed here. Let's go ahead and pull boards out. We need to start decelerating here.
6 Alpha Foxtrot radar contact, say altitude.
We're at 7,500 feet for 166 Alpha Foxtrot.
6 Alpha Foxtrot, thank you. Connect El Paso departure.
Over departure, 166 Alpha Foxtrot.
There we go. Just about made it on the speed there. Does the CL650 have FADEC? No.
El Paso depart Skyhawk 166
E3 Aero. No, it doesn't. It's the same engines. Way too synced up. I mean,
305 Echo Lima, Seattle Center. Good evening. Eugene altimeter.
they're a little bit split right now. We got good cables. Fresh airplane off the factory.
El Paso departure. Good evening.
They were nicely synced up by the manufacturer.
3036, good evening. 166 Alpha Foxtrot.
It's 140 after coming out of the vector there. Yeah, 140 out of bricks. Have a huge split, probably just the older birds. Yeah, it could be on a CL604, I would assume so. She's well traveled. That would mean that your throttle cables need adjusting, because the N1 amplifier, N1 control amplifiers should keep the engines at high power suitably close. But if you've got throttle split, that would mean the cables are out of sync, or out of tension, essentially. Highly experienced, yeah, you might say that. So right now, by the way, C3 Aero, are you syncing to N2 or N1? Because on a CL604, you don't have auto throttle potentially, so in that case, I mean, yeah. Coming up on the vector section. Maybe 140 on the direction there. 500 feet below. Yeah. You want to descend. No, we're not going to descend. We didn't get clearance lower. Taxi the Lancaster up to there. Sync above 79 and to sync below 79. Well, depends on... Yeah, if you don't have ATS. The ATS has permanent N1 sync. But it does that by adjusting the throttles independently.
El Paso current southwest 861, like I forward to Phoenix.
Okay, so we're in the vectors.
Southwest 861 El Paso clearance. Good evening. Clear to the Phoenix
Airport. So have a quick look over on the frequencies that we're going to be getting. So actually I'm going to check that on the charts here.
7233.
And there we go. There's the communications block.
Southwest
Power is 20.5. Ground is 21.8.
By the Civic Edmonton 17,000. And it was clock 7233. Good evening.
Southwest 861, read back correct. 650 Charlie Lima, fly heading 120 to center, maintain 4,000.
120 down to 4,000. 650 Charlie Lima. Okay, 120. Come down to 4,000. Go vertical speed. About 2,000 feet a minute. All we need. Okay, 4,000 to 2,000 feet per minute. I'm gonna take the VNAV out there. Don't need it right now. And I'm gonna pre-tune my comms here. So we set 20.5 for tower and 21.8 on pre-tune for the ground. Did I read that right? Tower 20.5, 21.8, good stuff. I'm gonna keep that on comm 2. So I can swap over just by swapping comm mics. Or I guess 20.5 we can also put on here pre-tune.
Radio 5 Kilo Tango, descend and maintain 1-2000.
So it's vectoring us to the south side of it. So we're gonna have to change over to our alternate plan here. Got a flight plan. Damn it, my mic is about to fall. Sorry about that.
650 Charlie Sierra, connect NorCal approach 135.1.
And notice some movement on the mic. Sorry for busting everybody's ears. Okay, secondary flight plan, activate. And I'm gonna go into, hang on, secondary flight plan. Oh, no, already there. And I'm gonna take bricks, put it into the from side.
650 Charlie Lima, turn left heading 010.
Left heading 010, 650 Charlie Lima. Left on a heading 010. So he's probably vectoring me on the north side.
1,700, descending via Bodega 3 with India.
650 Charlie Sierra, NorCal approach San Francisco, altimeter 30.
Why did my mic decide to fall off?
Step down there. Do you have an approach request?
Yeah, it's just letting you know we had India and...
Okay, so change your plans again.
Right, please, 0 Charlie Sierra.
Cancel the mod.
For 0 Charlie Sierra, expect that.
Ooh, wow. Ring rate.
650 Charlie Lima, report to the Dumbarton or San Mateo emergency.
And Wilco, 650 Charlie Lima. And yeah, there. San Mateo is that guy right there. And we got the San Mateo bridge inside 650 Charlie Lima.
650 Charlie Lima, thanks. Clear quiet bridge, clear to quiet bridge, visual approach, remain 28 right. Say that 5 times fast.
Quiet bridge, visual 28 right, 600 Charlie Lima. Okay, so since we're clear for the visual, we can maneuver to our desire. So I'm just going to go ahead and match the 330 here on turn. So good turn, 330. And I'm going to activate the leg from D15 to D10. We'll arm an intercept on the autopilot. So go pick up the D15. Throw it on the first line there, D10, execute.
5 Kilo Tango, get ready.
Okay, and we will be down to 2,000 now, 2,500. Actually, good stuff. So I'll keep you coming down, and we'll take the speed back to 210. Actually, 200. 2,500. Good stuff. Good. On the intercept, I'm looking happy there. I'm going to go ahead and hit nav. Rearm VNAV. As soon as we intercept the VNAV profile here, it's going to go and bring us down on the approach. Okay.
In range checklist. APU.
Just started a while ago.
9 Sierra Papa, connect Oakland Center,
Altimeters.
128.7.
3 set, cross-check.
128.7. 69 Sierra Papa. 6 Alpha Foxtrot, contact Albuquerque,
Yeah,
center
external
135.87.
On. N1 target.
And we'll go target.
5.87.
Takeoff.
166 Alpha.
Set.
Good stuff. And actually, I'm going to tell them to
APU PAX transition.
hurry up with the AP transition. Don't have time. Okie doke.
Avail completed. APU generator. On. CAS.
Speed 180. CAS
In
is
range
checked.
checklist complete. Before landing checklist next.
So bringing the speed back to 180. I'm actually going to set the altitude here to 1800.
2,500.
Going to take 20 degrees of flaps. That'll help us slow down.
1690, Mount Oakland Center, pass rolls, altimeter
There we go.
3024. Have your request, you can expect that.
And right on the, right there. There's the San Mateo Bridge.
166 Alpha Fox.
We're 180 knots to
Center,
the San Mateo Bridge.
036.
Actually, that one is 4 miles from the threshold, so I'm going to take it down to 160. And keep the V
Zero
cap.
Charlie Lima, connect San Francisco Tower 120.5.
20.5, 0 Charlie Lima. So take tower.
1690 Papa, clear direct to Yergu.
Just going to let it swing over on its own. And San Francisco Tower, November 650 Charlie Lima on the visual for 28 right over the San Mateo Bridge.
650 Charlie Lima, San Francisco Tower. Good evening, 280 to 10, runway 28 right, clear to land.
28 right, clear to land, 650 Charlie Lima. Okay. Gotta start bringing the speed back.
Kilo Tango Truckee Airport, 12 o'clock. 8 miles, advising you have it
There we
safe.
go, to go to final speeds here.
Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever. Down indicating. No steer.
Okay.
Arm center.
Sit up straight.
Anti-skid.
5 Kilo Tango, Roger, clear visual approach into Truckee. I have no traffic observed between you and the field. Radar service terminated. Fly for cancellation in the air with me. On the ground,
Brightness down a
122.2.
smidge. It's a little bit overpowering on the scenery there. And what was the last item he asked for? I forgot. Wing count.
Continuous ignition. On. Thrust reversers.
1,000.
Arm.
Pass ground, Southwest
Spoilers.
861 information, Yankee at the terminal for taxi.
Southwest
Flaps.
861, El Paso ground, runway 26
Set.
left, taxi
Pass.
via Gulf.
Yeah, it's checked.
Before landing
Call
checklist complete.
Lima for 20.
There we
After
go.
landing
661.
checklist next.
We're in visual conditions, so stable at 500 is enough.
At about 5,000, good view where only 19 approach.
There we go, perfectly on center line, on speed. Got 2 white, 2 red on the runway there.
650 Charlie Sierra, descend and maintain 4,000.
Clear to land.
4,000, 0 Charlie
Checklist
Sierra.
complete. Everybody relax. I'm a professional. No, I'm not. But, you know, don't tell anybody. There we go.
500.
06 Tango, descend and maintain 16,000. That's going to be as low as I can get you. Let me know how the weather looks.
500's checked. No minimums because we're on visual, so all good.
So 06 Tango.
3 whites. I'm just going to dip down a little bit. There we go. Back on profile.
$100. 50. 40. 30. 20.
5 Kilo Tango, cancellation. Received. Squawk via Hurricane.
There we go. Now you're going to take reverse here. Don't need it. I'll just take idle reverse, I guess. Gotta cross the runways here expeditiously, and then we'll take echo to the right. There's echo to the right. Customers is coming in. There we go. ATS disconnect. Stow to speed brake.
06 Tango, Roger. I have no traffic observed between you and the field. I have for cancellation received. Radar services are terminated. Squawk VFR. Change to advisory frequency approved. Connect.
Okay, he's going to be reading that back, so we're just going to stop here.
650 Charlie Sierra. Fly heading 100.
Heading 100, 0 Charlie Sierra.
San Francisco Tower, November 650 Charlie Lima on echo, clear of 28 right.
650 Charlie Lima. Ramp via Charlie Lima underground. Point 8. We'll see you.
Ramp via Charlie, monitor ground point 8. 650 Charlie, have a good one.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So,
After landing checklist. Landing, pulse, recog lights. Off. Anti-collision lights. Off. Continuous ignition. Off. Windshield heat.
Charlie's over here.
Off. Probes. Off. Wing anti-ice. Off. Cowl anti-ice.
It is not required.
Spoilers. Stowed. Flaps. 0. ATC TCAS. Alt on. Radar mode standby.
I'm gonna
After
take
landing
charts.
checklist complete. Engine shutdown checklist next.
Wonderful. It's already pre-selected the charts for me. I know this is signature up here. Plot 42 where it says roughly thereabouts. So, all good stuff. What is your problem? It's just a brief.
650 Charlie Sierra, turn left heading 010.
Left turn
Okay.
010, 0 Charlie Sierra.
Question is Chris there stream as well? Because if he is, I'm going to give him a read. Alley Pilot 7. No, he's not. Bit of a bummer. Oh well. Can't miss our exit here. It's Charlie. I'm actually, yeah, no, it's this exit right here. To the right. I can see it's over there. Right there. So it's gonna be to the right over here. Smooth. Sorta, I guess. Reasonably smooth, I guess. Hey. I'm gonna take the second entry point. I'm gonna take the first one. Not the second one. I'll park right in front of their door.
Charlie Sierra, turn left heading 310, intercept the localizer.
Turn 310, intercept localizer, 0 Charlie Sierra.
Okie doke. Pappy streaming long haul. Yeah, yep, he is. I guess we can rate him. Yeah, close enough. Right in front of their main door. Good stuff. Parking brake is set. Taxi lights off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect from Pilot Edge and do the obligatory replay because we got to have that. Got you on the IFE. Lovely. Let's go about there. A bit further out. Almost. Yeah, there we go. Where's like a runway view? That one. Yes. Good stuff. Coming in, nice and stable. For some reason, it's called the section behind the panels there. Good stuff. We'll make the stream available on YouTube and on demand here on Twitch. Wind tank, I think it should be. I'll as soon as I finish the stream up, I'm gonna send it over to YouTube. And I didn't even forget the do we get cookies at the FBO? Eventually, yeah. You know what? This calls for full volume action right here. So whoever's on headsets, be aware. It's gonna be loud. Channel flare, but not too much. There. Positive touchdown. No big deal. Okay. And so we'll take it about to about there, and I'll put ourselves roughly where we touch down, give or take Yeah, you don't want to float. You don't want to butter it. You want to be clearly aim for your touchdown point. Cool. Okay, with that out of the way, let's hop back into the airplane, shut her down. Good stuff. Shutdown checks.
Engine shutdown checklist. Taxi lights. Off. Parking brake. Set. Reverse thrust. Stowed. Generators 1 and 2.
Fans 1 and 2.
Off.
Off.
Engine 2 shut down.
Come on.
Fuel boost pumps. Off. Fuel system.
We're looking for a right low pressure now. There we go.
Engine 1 shut down. Check ITT below 350 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, just to check that your engines are actually shutting down. That's what that check is for. Good stuff. Engines are stopping.
Anti-ice. Off. 14th stage. Off. Beacon. Off. No steer. Off. ATC TCAS.
ATC TCAS goes to standby, code to 0.
Standby 0. Parking brake if chocked.
And I'm going to go ahead and request the chocks be put in. And come on. Get them chocks in, baby. I think they were already in. Didn't it give a thumbs up? I think it did, didn't it? Good stuff.
Passenger signs.
Are going to be coming off.
Off. Cabin differential. 0 psi. Engine shutdown checklist complete. Securing checklist next.
Good. With all that out of the way, we'll go ahead and open up the airplane. Get it ready. We didn't have any passengers in there, but this should have been open, and the curtain should have been open as well for landing. For our own sakes. 43 days ago. Well, congrats, I suppose. Not too far behind myself. Alrighty. And we'll put it to full volume again, don't we? There we go. Okay, post-flight walk around. See if we didn't hit any birds or take any taxi lights with us. We'll go ahead and open up the nose compartment. Gonna keep it open for. Apparently, it's common to leave it open for for parking anywhere. So I'll just go there. And we got good pressure on the brake accumulators. And that is all secure and locked up. Eventually, one of these days, I'm going to actually do the paperwork, but not today. And I'm going to leave to be Captain Crash's domain for the time being. Okay. Quick whiff of APU exhaust. And scrape the tail. You can hear the hydraulic pump. So that's the 3A pump is right here. Audible water system, I see. We're buttoning it up. Yes, eventually there will be. The blood on the nose. Yeah, not on the leading edge or cowls. So we didn't destroy the airplane today. So I guess that
Nose
is...
door.
Yep.
Nose door. Nose door.
So, that in. Go ahead and do the shutdown checks, or the securing checklist.
Secure and checklist. Emergency lights.
Are off.
AC/DC utility switch.
Off.
Headsets.
Off.
Thrust reversers.
off.
Chocks.
In.
Parking brake.
Is off.
Hydraulic pumps.
Hydraulic pumps all coming off.
Nav lights. Logo light.
Nav light off. Logo light wasn't even on.
APU generator.
Is off. And after this, it's APU start stop off. Packs off. LCV isolation valve off. Check that the EPU is actually shutting down, so RPM is winding down. EGT is good. Power fuel, and we'll wait for the indications to go away. Where the last services panel be? I think it's back there together with the water system somewhere. I haven't really investigated in much detail so far. So I'll cross that bridge. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it, I guess, of sorts. So yeah, something like that. He really is watching me on the in-flight entertainment system. That is dedication. I salute you for that. The day before my vacation from work, I searched 6 Q400 toilets, terminated Billy Bishop Toronto in both laugh cards. Oh my. Alrighty. Come on. Indications go out. There they go. So everything is shut down. In a snowstorm. And I'm assuming up a hill both directions. Okay. Everything is done, so we'll go ahead and close up the airplane. So there, and we'll put on covers, assume that they're already cool enough. And pins as well. Those are part of the securing checks. So we've got the nose pin already in, and then we'll take the main pins also put in. So there's number 2 and number 1. So yeah, I'm assuming it's somewhere there. I didn't really look too hard, to be honest. Alrighty. Airplane's packed up, ready to go to bed, I guess. We're ready to go to the ADG pin yet. Not yet, C3 Aero. ADG pin is going to come together with the ADG 3D model. We do have the model partially done, but it's not ready for publishing yet. So that is going to be coming in the next update. I was trying to get it in for this update, but it just wasn't to be. Alrighty. Let's walk over to the FBO. Hey Jenny, have a good one. See you around. We'll be back in, I guess, a week or 2 or something like that. And we can complete our immersion by just walking out here. Okie doke. So, to that end, I'm gonna go like this. To that end, I'm gonna send you over, guys, to Happy Pappy and have them give them a lot of likes, a lot of follows, and a lot of love. Doing the Lord's work, flying across the Atlantic. So everybody take care. Have a good one. See you around, and love you all. Bye. Cheers, folks.